Hey Bulldog fans, this is Coach Chad Slagle, and you're listening to Algona Bulldog Baseball on KLGA Hometown Radio.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Lance with you live here in Emmetsburg, Iowa for Algona Bulldog Baseball on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. For those of you tuning in expecting crosstown softball action tonight between the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and at the Algona Bulldogs, the Golden Bear field had standing water on it earlier today, so we transitioned over. We're giving some baseball action tonight instead as the crosstown softball game is postponed to tomorrow night. As tonight we have the Algona Bulldogs and at the Emmetsburg He-Hawks doing battle here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. It is a beautiful night. Emmetsburg not getting quite as much rain as we did in Algona, so the field's in great condition, and we are just about ready to roll for baseball action tonight. Taking a look at your starting lineups for tonight. First, for the visiting Algona Bulldogs, it'll be the pitcher Tate Garman batting leadoff. Tate Slagle catches, he bats second. Aiden Ulrich at shortstop, and he will bat third. Logan Lentz, the cleanup hitter, plays first base. Reed Lawaji, he's at third base and batting fifth. Levi Walker will play left field, but he'll be designated hitter for by Mason Ulrich. Ulrich will bat sixth in tonight's lineup. Hoyt Crouch in right field batting seventh. Daniel Kemna playing second base batting eighth, and Dawson Ellsbecker in center field batting ninth for E-Hawks, home team in tonight's matchup. It'll be the center fielder Cameron Madden batting leadoff. MJ Bay at shortstop batting second. Bronson Dietrich in left field hits third. Carson Fetlin, tonight's starting pitcher, the cleanup hitter. Brennan Hosbrook in right field, he'll bat fifth. Carson Bach behind home plate hits sixth. Aiden Fair Opheim, he's the designated hitter batting seventh, as he'll bat for the first base and Matthew Malm. Gavin Swenson's at third base hitting eighth. And Cooper Cheezick at second base, rounding out the lineup and batting ninth. That is the starting lineup for tonight's game. Two teams that are really desperately seeking out a win. The Algona Bulldogs won their season opener in commanding fashion against Charles City, but unfortunately for Algona, they've dropped their two games since that time, losing 12-11 to Spencer and 12-0 to Bishop Garrigan. Meanwhile, Emmetsburg looking to take the lead off tonight. They are 0-2 to start the season as they lost back on May 17th to Esterville Lincoln Central in a close 5-4 ball game, then lost on May 20th against Spirit Lake 7-3. So Emmetsburg looking to get that first win of the season and trying to do tonight against a Bulldog team that's also looking to bounce back in tonight's game as well. Again, beautiful conditions outside, sunny skies, and barely a cloud out there here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Before we get to a quick timeout, our video stream is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, where having the advantage makes all the difference. Chemda Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona Frame and Auto Body, where we meet by accident. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. And Bauer Plumbing and Heating of Emmetsburg and Algona. Great video streaming sponsors bringing you tonight's broadcast here on the Algona Radio YouTube stream. We'll take a quick timeout. National anthems coming up here at the field. And the first pitch up next on KLGA 92.7 and the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Jason Brace, Daniel Folk, and Michael Toth.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Weikert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm insurance agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat.
Let's get it started. High school baseball action here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Made a last-minute adjustment, a last-minute pitching change, if you will, as we switch to the Algona versus Emmetsburg game after the Bishop Garrigan versus Algona softball game got postponed to tomorrow night. And boy, what a great night for baseball action here, as right now Carson Fetland, the starting pitcher for Emmetsburg, is taking his warm-up tosses. Fetland is a right-handed pitching senior. Last year as a junior led Emmetsburg in appearances of 9, but did not make a single start, so he was out of the bullpen in every pitching appearance last season. Had a 1-2 record, pitched 25 innings, which was third on the team last year, allowed a .255 batting average against. In those 25 innings, struck out 33 batters, he walked 12. Fetland had a .448 earned run average last season for the Emmetsburg Ehawks. And for Algona, he'll face hitters number 1, 2, and 3 in the batting order. Tate Garman, Tate Slagle, and Aiden Ulrich trying to get the Bulldogs out to a good start on the road. Algona has had the upper hand over Emmetsburg. If you look at the past matchups, these teams play once per year in the non-conference schedule, just about every year. Bulldogs won a wild 21-11 game last year against Emmetsburg at Bulldog Park, and Algona has won 7 in a row against Emmetsburg, dating back to 2015, which was Emmetsburg's last win against Algona. But last year, 21-11 win for Algona. The year before, 14-4, and in 2021, 13-3. So the Bulldogs have been able to win by 10+ runs quite a few times. In fact, 6 of those wins in that 7-game winning streak over Emmetsburg, they've been by 10+ for Algona. So this is the kind of night Bulldogs look to get the offense back on track, but not going to be easy against a senior starting pitcher for Emmetsburg, bringing that senior experience onto the pitching bump tonight. Tate Garman stepping into the batter's box for Algona. As we said, tonight's starting pitcher for the Bulldogs. Just about set to go here tonight. Tate Garman so far this season for Algona has 4 hits in 11 at-bats. 2 runs knocked in. First pitch swung on and missed. And we are underway tonight in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Your game time temperature tonight, about 68 degrees. Light east wind blowing to the right field side as you can see the flag out in dead center field blowing towards right field, so a fly ball to right field will get a slight boost, but not a ton to speak of so far as wind is concerned. Fetland's next pitch, that one is going to miss just out of the zone and even up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Bulldog leadoff hitter, Tate Garman. Defensively for Emmetsburg, Bach behind home plate, Swanson at third base, Bay at shortstop, Chizik at second base, Malm at first. Fetland, the pitcher, delivers, and he finds the inside corner for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2 against Garman. Left to right across the outfield, it's Dietrich, Madden, and Hosbrook for the Emmetsburg Ehawks. Ehawks coached by Briar Rowley. Here's the motion in the 1-2 pitch. Just off the inside corner. Garman fought about pulling the trigger there, but held the hands back, and that will even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tate Garman. Shadows creeping across the field here as we start the game. Just shy of 7:30. Stretch on the 2-2 pitch. Garman flies that one into medium deep center field. Coming in is Madden. Madden settling underneath it, and he makes the catch on the soft lineup by Tate Garman for out number 1 of the inning. So Garman is retired for the Bulldogs, 1 out, and the batter now going to be Tate Slagle, who has been on a tear at the plate to start off the season. Slagle, an all-conference selection last year in the North Central, has 5 hits in his first 6 at-bats. He has been nearly impossible to get out. He's also walked 5 times and been hit by a pitch as well, so he's come up to the plate 12 times, and he's found his way on base in 11 of those times. Not to mention a homer, a triple, 5 runs knocked in. Stretch in the pitch by Fetland, misses down and away for a ball. Fetland, a guy who's not going to use the windup. He's just going to go from the stretch tonight, keep things all consistent as he stands in the center of the pitching rubber. Neutral as far as first base or third base side. And he looks for the inside corner. The home plate umpire twitches, but he doesn't call the pitch, and it's a 2-0 count. Hometown crowd not going to like that one. Outfield very deep for Slagle, especially so to dead center field of Madden. 2-0 count, pitch to Slagle. Slagle pops it up foul first base side. That one's going to get over the tree over to our right. That's just beyond the fencing here at Emmetsburg High School. A lot of cars in the parking lot. Look out down there. Don't know if that got any car, but I see someone going back there to investigate as Slagle fouls one off to the right side. 1 out, nobody on base. Top half of inning number 1 here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Bulldogs and the Ehawks here in a non-conference matchup. Emmetsburg finished 8-13 last year. As the next pitch, inside corner, that's a called strike, and we're even at 2-2. Ehawks placing 6th in the Twin Lakes Conference, but off to an 0-2 start to this year. Bulldogs 1-2 after winning their opening game 11-2 against Charles City, but a couple losses to Bishop Garrigan and Spencer back-to-back. 2-2 count, Fetland pitch. Slagle line shot into center field for a base hit. Fetland tried to bring one in on the hands of Slagle, but didn't have a ton of velocity, and Slagle just quick hands launched it into center field. Line drive base hit, and Bulldogs have their first base run of the game as Tate Slagle still has only been retired once this year. Make that 6 hits in 7 at-bats for the Bulldog Junior. Now up to the plate for the Bulldogs. Aiden Ulrich, right-handed hitting shortstop. Ulrich, another all-conference selection as well, has 2 hits and 8 at-bats to start off the year. 1 homer and 3 runs knocked in as Slagle takes his lead off of first base. Fetland, quick pick off to first base, back in there standing as Slagle. The key for Emmetsburg is going to be playing good defense tonight. Fetland's a guy who, like we said, doesn't have a huge velocity, but he will fill up the strike zone. He is not going to give Algona a whole lot of free passes tonight, so the Bulldogs will have to find a way to hit their way on in tonight's game. Here's the set. Slagle modest lead at first. Ulrich pops it up first base side. That one's going to stay in play. Going back to first baseman Malm, caught off by the second baseman, and making a lunging catch is Chizik, and that is out number 2 of the inning. Chizik taking charge of that play as he had a better angle to that ball than Malm and correctly makes the catch for Emmetsburg on the shallow outfield grass in right field. So Slagle still at first base, as now the batter for Algona, their senior Logan Lentz. Lentz looking for his first base knock of the season, 0 for 9 at the dish so far for Algona. 2 outs, runner at first base. Lentz, right-handed hitter, rests that bat upon the right shoulder as he hits out of a square stance, just a step off the back of that right-handed batter's box. Stretch in the pitch. Lentz watches that one dip down the way for a ball, and it is a 1-0 count. Outfield relatively straight up, still fairly deep, especially so for the center fielder Madden and the right fielder Hosbrook. The left fielder Dietrich at about more of a normal depth for Emmetsburg. Shadows are snaking across the infield, the fingers of those shadows across the pitcher's mound, but home plate still in the sun as that pitch is down in the dirt. And Lentz able to work ahead in the count here against Fetland. 2-0 count. Lawaji, the on-deck hitter for Algona. Mason Ulrich in the hole, as Tate Slagle is the base runner at first. Top half of inning number 1 in this non-conference matchup between the Bulldogs of the North Central and the Ehawks of the Twin Lakes. Another pick off the first base, but Slagle walking back into the bag at first. Slagle, like I said, not a huge lead over there at first base, but does have one of the better base running acumens on this Bulldog team, and he's taking off. Slagle's taking off. The pitch is inside. Throw it on the second, in on a hop. Head first slide, and Slagle is safe. Slagle got a nice jump that time, as Fetland not particularly quick to the plate, and a base swipe for the Bulldog Junior. So early runner in scoring position for Algona, and still 2 away here in the top half of the first inning. That is stolen base number 5 in 5 attempts this year for Tate Slagle. Look towards second base by Fetland. Fetland's going to spin towards second. He'll throw. No one covering the bag, and he throws it into center field. Slagle's on his way to third base. He's going to turn and take a look. Slagle's heading towards home plate. He's going to try to score. Throw it to the plate. Not in time as Slagle slides in behind the catcher. 1-0 Bulldogs on an ill-advised play by Emmetsburg. Well, first of all, nobody was covering second base. The pitcher Fetland spun to throw to second base. He tried to lob it to Chizik, the second baseman, who was about 6 feet off the second base bag. And the ball got away from Chizik, went into shallow center field. And like we said, the center fielder Madden so deep out there in center field, took forever to get to the ball. And even though Slagle really was only going 3/4 speed going into third base, head coach Chad Slagle waved him all the way around, and he scored. The catcher Bach waited back a little bit further as that pitch is in there for a called strike. He might have had a play on Slagle, but Bach was a couple feet out in front of home plate to receive that and didn't have an angle to turn around and try to slap Slagle as he went by for the tag. So 1-0 Bulldogs. Algona not going to complain about that. 2-1 pitch, or make that 3-1 pitch. It's up and in for ball 4 as Lentz draws the walk, and he's on first base. So a couple of free passes issued to the Bulldog hitters here early on. And it's going to be runner on first base for Reed Lawaji, the Bulldog senior. Lawaji, right-handed hitting batter. Bulldogs up 1-0 in the top half of inning number 1 as Fetland tries to minimize the damage. Fetland delivers. Lawaji check swings, but he went around. Ball gets away from the catcher Bach behind home plate, and walking up to second base is going to be Logan Lentz. So Bulldogs put another runner in scoring position, and Emmetsburg having trouble controlling the ball here in inning number 1. Outfield pretty much straight up for Lawaji. The second baseman, Chizik, will hold the runner at second base. That's Logan Lentz. Here's the set by Fetland. Looks towards second. Short kick in the delivery. Check swing by Lawaji, but that pitch down and away out of the zone as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away, belongs with the runner at second base. Lawaji with 2 hits in 6 at-bats so far this year for Algona. Fetland delivers. That one is on the inside half of the plate for a called strike as Lawaji watches it go by. And it's a 1-2 count on the Bulldog senior. 1-0 Algona on the early ball thrown away. The throwing error on the pickoff attempt. As here's the set by Fetland. 1-2 offering. That's a little bit upstairs as Lawaji with the take. And the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ulrich on deck for Algona. Fetland holds the hands letter high, looks towards second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside, cold strike 3. They got the inside corner. It's a delayed call, and Lawaji is out number 3 of the inning on the backwards K. Bulldogs do score their first run of the ball game, though, as Tate Slagle comes home to score on the throwing error. It's 1-0 Algona heading for the bottom half of 1 on KLGA 92.7 and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Runke Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runke Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs, they're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
AK's Chrome Kitchen, when you come in, your family.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Sophomore Tate Garman taking to the hill for head coach Chad Slagle and the Algona Bulldogs. It's the bottom half of inning number 1 in Emmetsburg, Iowa, and it's Algona 1 and Emmetsburg nothing in this non-conference baseball matchup. Tyler Lance with you this evening as the batters that will be faced by Garman this inning, Cameron Madden, MJ Bay, and Bronson Dietrich, 1, 2, and 3 in the Emmetsburg lineup. So far this season, Tate Garman has pitched in 2 games. One of them starts 0-1 record. He's pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowing 9 runs. He has given up 7 hits, 4 walks, struck out 11 batters, and opponents batting .241 against Tate Garman. But this is early season, small sample size, and the story for Garman so far: had 1 great outing against Charles City, had 1 rough outing against Bishop Garrigan. In that outing against Charles City, Garman pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 run, but struck out 6 batters in those 2 innings, only giving up 2 hits. So that was a great game by Tate Garman against the Charles City Comets as he closed out that season-opening 11-2 win for the Bulldogs. However, against Garrigan, things spiraled quickly. That was Friday night, most recent game for Algona, as Garman sets. First pitch of the bottom half of the first inning upcoming, as he misses down and away for ball 1 to Cameron Madden. But against Garrigan, that is, Garman went 2 2/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned as he walked 4, hit 3 batters, and struck out 5. So the strikeout totals have been good so far for Tate Garman in his first 2 outings, but Garrigan was able to knock him around a little bit and take advantage of some free passes. Charles City not so much, as they were really confounded by Garman, the only run scoring on a balk during that outing by Garman. 1-1 count, pitch to Madden. Madden watching the letter-high fastball just a bit above the zone for a ball as he gets ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. Cameron Madden started 17 games last year for the E-Hawks, hitting .294. Had 1 homer, 9 runs knocked in. Garman stretching the pitch. Fastball's up high, and it's a 3-1 count. Well, Garman really looking to establish himself as that number 3 arm for the Bulldogs. Of course, Tate Slagle and Aiden Ulrich, the top 2 most experienced pitchers returning from last season, as the 3-1 pitch, outside corner called strike as Madden was ready to discard the bat, but he will stay in the batter's box for a 3-2 pitch. But it's a 5-game week, most weeks in the summer of high school baseball. You're going to need arms, and Garman trying to establish himself as one of the go-to guys for the Bulldogs, as that one is slapped first base side foul. Line drive for the first base coaching box, and we'll do it again at a 3-2 count, as the next pitch will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat to Cameron Madden. This is one of those cliched leadoff at-bats. Give your guys following you a lot of pitches to see and give them a read on Garmin. Garmin kicks and brings the 3-2 pitch. Popped in the air, first base side. Lentz drifting into foul territory, settles underneath it, and Lentz squeezes the ball backpedaling for out number 1 of the inning. It's a high pop out to the right side, foul out for the first out of inning number 1. And now the shortstop, MJ Bay, will be the batter. MJ Bay did not have any varsity at-bats last season for the Emmetsburg Ehawks, but so far this season, 2 hits in his first 5 at-bats, has knocked in 1 run. Emmetsburg 0-2 so far this season, 5-4 loss against ELC, 7-3 loss against Spirit Lake as Bay is swinging on the first pitch, went chasing a pitch that was probably a little bit off the plate outside for strike 1. Bulldogs wearing red uniforms tonight. It's the white Bulldogs underlined in black, white numerals on the front and back of the jersey for the white pants. The kick and the pitch. Garmin leans Bay back a little bit, just a bit inside as the count evens up 1-1. Emmetsburg in the white uniforms, the white jersey tops, the white pants as well, and the black numerals on the front and back of the jersey. Black Emmetsburg outlined in yellow, underlined in black, for the black trim down the sides of the jersey. They have the high black socks as well, for the white, meant that the yellow stripes horizontally across them, as Garmin delivers strike 2, and he gets ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Ehawks, as we said, looking for win number 1 of the season. Played a very competitive game, though, against a Class 2A, number 10 ranked Esterville Lincoln Central in that 1-run loss. 1-2 pitch. Garmin brings the high cheese, but it's a little bit too high, and the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. That ELC team expected to be very, very good this year, not to mention Spirit Lake. They usually bring a competitive baseball program as well. 2-2 count. The next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Garmin went with a change at that time as he pulled the string on Bay, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start off the top of the first for Emmetsburg. Bronson Dietrich, the next hitter for Emmetsburg. As Dietrich so far this season, 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Steps up to the plate in the right-handed batter's box. Last year, Dietrich, a .226 hitter with 1 homer and 15 runs knocked in. Hits out of a squared right-handed stance. Wears a black arm sleeve on the right arm as he's off balance on the first pitch, swing and a miss. Garmin mixing the speeds early on in this ball game and has an 0-1 count on Dietrich. Fetland, the starting pitcher, waits on deck as Garmin clambers back onto the mound. Working from the first base side of the rubber, Garmin kicks and brings the 0-1. Tried to extend that zone a little bit to the outside, but couldn't get Dietrich to bite as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away as we play here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Algona leading Emmetsburg 1-0. Garmin 1-1 pitch. Popped high in the air, middle of the infield. Who's going to take charge? Second baseman Kemna coming in, calling everyone off, and Kemna makes the catch for out number 3 of the inning. So an uneventful 1-2-3 first inning for Tate Garmin as the Ehawks go down 1-2-3. Bulldogs batting next on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Emmetsburg Ehawks so far today. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Algona Bulldogs. 1-0 Algona as we head to the top of the second. And Fetland going back to work, the right-handed pitcher for Emmetsburg, as he will face hitters number 6, 7, and 8 in the Bulldog lineup. It'll be Mason Ulrich, Hoyt Crouch, and Daniel Kemna trying to get things rolling for Algona. Right-handed batter's box is now in shadows. The pitcher's mound has a slight glimpse of sunlight on it, but still mostly in the shadows as well. There's a little bit of sun in between home plate and the pitcher's mound as the sunlight really kind of streaking across the diamond here. Here's the set by Fetland in the pitch. Ulrich watching that one, and it's on the outside corner for a called strike. He checked his swing, but it's probably not the one you want to take a big hack on. Outside corner on the 0-0 pitch. Right fielder Hossbrook in a couple of steps. Rest of the outfield normal depth as the pitch to Ulrich, fouled straight back to the screen. Ulrich, healthy cut at that one, but he's down on the count 0-2. Mason Ulrich standing into that right-handed batter's box as he has 1 hit in 7 at-bats so far for the Bulldogs this season. Algona came into tonight hitting .254, 18 hits and 71 at-bats as a team. A lot of production came against Charles City as well as early against Spencer. 0-2 pitch, popped foul behind the screen, and we'll do it again if an 0-2 count. And how the Bulldogs can respond after sitting on a couple of really tough losses for a few days is going to be key tonight. Obviously, the Bulldogs thought they had that game in hand against Spencer, winning 10-3 heading to the final inning before ultimately falling 12-11 in a heartbreaking defeat where the defense really came back to bite the Bulldogs. And then a shutout loss in the crosstown game against Garrigan, not the kind of bounce back Algona was hoping for, obviously, as the pitch misses inside to make the count 1-2. Then if you're Algona, you have to sit on that all weekend long, and not to mention you sit on it Monday and Tuesday as well. That's a pretty rare thing in the baseball season. 4 days off in a row for these high school players to marinate on those 2 losses. As there's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Ulrich continuing to fight off pitches. So we're looking to see how Algona responds tonight. Obviously the early 1-0 lead so far in this ball game. As Fetland battling here against Ulrich. He's pouring strikes into the zone, but Ulrich is just spoiling off 2-strike pitch after 2-strike pitch. Kick in the 1-2. Ulrich sticks the bat out, pops it up right side of the infield. First baseman Malm coming in onto the grass, and he will squeeze it for out number 1 of the inning as Ulrich retired on the pop out to the right side.
Number 32, Crouch.
That's going to bring Hoyt Crouch, tonight's right fielder, up to the plate for Algona. Crouch looking for that first base knock of the season. So far, over 3 for the Bulldogs. Right-handed hitting senior. As we said, nice night here in Emmetsburg. We started off with 5 to 10 mile per hour winds towards right field, but now even a little bit less. The tree that's to the right of the breast box is barely bristling in the wind, and that flag out in center hardly moving at all as the first pitch is inside to Crouch, and it's a 1-0 count. But you would never know we got torrential rains across our listening area based on how the field looks tonight. It's in great condition here in Emmetsburg. No doubt about playing the game. As the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss by Crouch. He was fooled on that offering down and away, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. I'd imagine, though, we haven't seen a lot of ground balls so far tonight. In fact, we haven't seen any ground balls so far, but I would imagine it is going to be a slow infield tonight. Probably still a little bit of dampness and softness out there. As Crouch hits that one hard towards left field, starting in the left fielder Dietrich. Now it's the race back, and it's over his head. It's over his head as he misjudges the ball. Crouch is on his way to second base. Ball's bobbled again, and he stops at second base. He maybe could have stretched that to a triple, but he will settle for a double. Boy, that one was badly misjudged in left field by Dietrich. Started in 2 steps, slammed on the brakes, and realized he had made a critical mistake out there in left. Ball sails over his head, though, and Crouch put in some good wood, or good aluminum, should I say, on the baseball. Runner at second base, 1 out for the Bulldogs, and Daniel Kemna, the second baseman, coming up to the plate. The senior Kemna, 2 for 10 so far this season for the Bulldogs. Right-handed hitting batter, hits out of a square stance. The pitch by Fetland, swing and miss by Kemna. Actually, that's a foul tip. They say he got a piece of it at home plate. In either case, that'll be an 0-1 count on Kemna. Middle infielders for Emmetsburg. Bay, the shortstop, and Chizik, the second baseman, taking turns holding Crouch somewhat close to the bag at second base. Primarily the second baseman, Chizik, playing close to the bag with the right-handed hitter at the plate. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball towards the shortstop side. There's a hole over there. That's going to be a tough play, and they have to eat it. Everyone's going to be safe. Well, the shortstop, Bay, had started cheating towards second base, trying to get in behind Crouch. And that was when the pitch was delivered, and the ball just grounded softly to shortstop. No chance to do anything for Emmetsburg, and the Bulldogs have something brewing here in the top of the second. A double by Hoyt Crouch, and a ground ball infield single by Daniel Kemna. And now the number 9 hitter, Dawson Elsbecker, up to the plate. Elsbecker, 2 for 6. The freshman right-handed batter for Algona, trying to keep things rolling and then get it back to the top of the order when some of the big boppers come up to the plate for Algona. The look towards first base by Fetland. We'll see if the Bulldogs look to move Kemna at any point in this at-bat. He's itching to go. He's taking off on the first pitch. Swing and a miss. And no throw will be made to second base as it's taken uncontested by Kemna. So Kemna swipes the bag at second base. Now the force plays off, and it's second and third for the Bulldogs, only 1 out. We'll see how Emmetsburg aligns their infield. Third baseman Swanson about even with the bag at third, and now the second baseman Chizik creeping into the grass as well, as is the first baseman Malm. Fetland will stand on the mound and let his infielders come in. Pitch is grounded towards the hole between shortstop and third, and it's into left field for a base hit. Here comes Crouch. Here comes Kemna. Throw to the plate, and not in time as Kemna's in of a slide. 3-0 Bulldogs. They score 2 runs on another ground ball, almost to the exact same spot. And now going off to a great start here in inning number 2. 2 RBI base hit by Dawson Ellsbecker, and it's 3 consecutive hits starting off the inning for the Algona Bulldogs, and give Ellsbecker his first 2 RBIs of the season. And the Bulldogs far from done yet. That's a great sign when your 7, 8, and 9 hitters start off the inning with 3 straight base hits. And now back to the top of the order for Tate Garman. Garman 0 for 1 so far today. And starting the runner works to perfection for the Bulldogs. They get the runner stealing second base. Then a ground ball single in between third base and shortstop as the pick off the first base. Not in time is diving back in Dawson Ellsbecker. And that's the kind of well-rounded production you need from your lineup. Like we were talking about in the season opener against Charles City, you've got a lot of inexperienced guys in the bottom half of that lineup. Guys who don't have a ton of varsity at-bats, so you really want to see competitive at-bats, putting the ball in play. And you've got some speedy guys down there as well, so putting some pressure on the defense of your speed, also a key for the bottom part of that Bulldog lineup. And then handing things back off to the top of the order for a chance to do even more damage. Garman ground ball, foul third base side, and a nice grab over there by Coach Chad Slagle. Bulldog infielders, take notes. That's how you want to do it. Get your body in front of the baseball. Soft hands over in the third base coaching box. That was textbook. Taking his lead off of first base is Ellsbecker. Here's the set. 0-1 delivery. Hard ground ball, third base side, and that one's through into left field for a base hit. Bulldogs are peppering the left side of that infield with ground balls, and they are all getting through. That one a little bit harder hit by Garman, and it's 4 consecutive hits to start the inning by Algona. First and second. Or check that, not to start the inning, I beg your pardon. Ulrich had the pop out to start off, but after that pop out, it's 4 straight hits by Algona. 1 out runner at first base. And second base as well now with the single by Tate Garman. So 4 straight hits after the inning opening pop out. Now Tate Slagle, who's only been retired once so far this entire season. Right-handed batter. Slagle watches that one outside, is sliding over to the right to catcher Bach. Make sure that pitch doesn't get away to the backstop. 3-0 Bulldogs, 1 out. Top half of the second inning as we approach 8 o'clock here on Hometown Radio, KLGA Algona, and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Hands at the letters. Fetland spins towards second base. Nothing doing, though, as Ellsbecker goes dancing back to the bag. Well, there's still a pretty big hole in between shortstop and third base as the shortstop bay is paying a lot of attention to the runner, so Slagle could possibly do the same thing. There have been 3 straight ground balls in between third base and shortstop hit by the Bulldog right-handed batters, and they have all resulted in base hits. One was an infield hit, and 2 of them were able to bleed through into the outfield. So the Emmetsburg middle infield is just paying a ton of attention to the runner at second base. 2-0 pitch. Slagle watches that one go down and in. It's a 3-0 count. Trying to be careful to Slagle, but now Fetland's in danger of walking the bases loaded and really setting up an even more massive inning for the Bulldogs as 2 runs have already scored. Fetland looking in. Glimpses towards second base. Brings the 3-0. That is on the inside corner for a called strike as Slagle watches that one go by. 3-1 count. Runner at second base, Ellsbecker. Runner at first base, Garman for the Bulldogs. On deck, Aiden Ulrich. Fetland's 3-1. That's a soft ground ball towards shortstop. Picked on the backhand by Bay. He goes the short way to second for 1. Relay to first base. And that is in time for a double play. The inning is over. And boy, did Emmetsburg need that one. 6-4-3 in the scorebook. And they get out of potentially a huge inning of a 6-4-3 double play. That being said, the Bulldogs do score 2 runs on the 2-run single by Dawson Ellsbecker and lead 3-0. Heading to the bottom of 2 on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Signworks for all of your signage needs, as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on the radio.
Bottom half of the second inning on hometown radio KLGA. Tyler Lansing for this evening as the Algona Bulldogs lead the Emmetsburg Ehoks 3-0. Bulldogs scoring run 1 in the first and 2 runs in the second inning. So far, Bulldogs 3 runs on 5 hits. Emmetsburg has committed 1 error in this game as well, which helped out the cause in inning number 1. And now Tate Garman goes back to work. Garman spending a lot of time in the dugout that half inning as the Bulldogs were able to send 6 batters to the plate, but it ended on a 6-4-3 double play that Tate Slagle hit into. And that was huge for Emmetsburg and their starting pitcher Fetland, because the Bulldogs were threatening to have a massive inning. Fetland was struggling. The Bulldogs were hitting the ball in the hole between third base and shortstop. But now Fetland gets a chance to bat and trying to get some of this back for Emmetsburg. Fetland so far 0 for 4 this season as he stands into the right-handed box. .218 hitter last year for 11 runs knocked in for Emmetsburg. Garman delivers, and Fetland cutting at the first pitch and missing as he falls behind in the count 0-1. Emmetsburg went down 1-2-3 in the first inning as Fetland, the number 4 hitter, will bat. Brennan Hosbrook, Carson Bach also drew up this inning for the Ehoks. The set by Garman and the 0-1 pitch. Fetland slices that towards the first base dugout. Look out over there, Bulldogs, as it's going to be 0-1 count. 0-2 count now as the foul ball goes into the dugout. That'll catch the attention of anyone who is not paying attention to the game or snoozing over there in the first base dugout. Outfield playing Fetland towards right center field, especially center fielder Dawson Elsbecker way over as the pitch misses outside by Garman, and count goes to 1-2. Left fielder Walker fairly deep for Algona. Medium depth for Elsbecker, the center fielder, and Crouch, the right fielder. 1-2 by Garman. Up and in. That'll even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, for those of you who haven't been to the Emmetsburg Ehawk field in a couple of years, they've certainly made some upgrades here. We've got the brand new press box behind home plate that we're enjoying for tonight's game. 2-2 count. That one is flied in the air towards left center field. Long run for Walker. Gets over quickly, though, and makes the catch in the left center field gap for out number 1 of the inning. So Fetland battles to a 2-2 count, but retired on the fly out to left, as that'll bring up the right fielder Brennan Hosbrook. So Hosbrook, the right fielder, batting for the Ehawks. So far this season, no hits and 2 at-bats. Hasbrook, right-handed batter, holds the hands low and the bat head high in the box as he takes a called strike from Garman. In addition to the new press box here, they've also changed the outfield dimensions a little bit, but press box used to be on top of the third base dugout. Last time I was here at this field doing a game, I was looking from the third base side, but tonight we've got the great view right behind home plate. As it's a check swing, appeal to the first base umpire. They say no swing as the count's evened up 1 ball and 1 strike. But they have a big hill behind right field here in Emmetsburg as the 1-1 pitch, outside corner called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, it's not like Houston's old Towels Hill. It's outside of the ballpark, but previously the right field fence had been much shorter as they had to accommodate for that field, or I should say that hill out in right field, as the pitch is outside corner called strike 3. 5 up, 5 down so far by Garman, and Bach's going to be the hitter. But they've flattened things out over there a little bit. They've moved the outfield fence back, and they've kind of redone their field a little bit. So you can't just poke one out to right field anymore. You've got to kind of drive one out to right field now, as that right field fence is further back again, flattening out that hill a little bit behind right field and moving the fence back to right field and right center. Left-handed batter Carson Bach slices the first pitch off the screen on the third base side, and the count goes to 0-1.
Number 4, Carson Bach.
Bach hit .227 last year, knocked in 7 runs for the Ehawks. So far this season, Bach 1 for 6 at the plate. As we have two-way here in the bottom half of 2. So far, 5 up, 5 down for Garman, who is settling into a nice rhythm. Garman inside, and he drilled him. First base runner of the game for the Ehawks as Bach gets on by way of the hit-by-pitch. So sorry, Bulldog fans, announcer jinx alive and well with that one. But Garman will try to work around that 2-up base runner as Aiden Fair Opheim will be the batter. Designated hitter for Emmetsburg. Opheim last year only got 2 at-bats as he was 0 for 2. Emmetsburg will send a courtesy runner to first base. Byron Mena Main of the field state qualifier in the high jump. Just got done with a big weekend at Drake Stadium. As fair open right-handed batter. Main is taking off. Garmin steps off. They've got him held up. Throw to second base. Slide tag. Got him. Mena thought he had Garmin tied up, but he's retired on the caught stealing, and the inning is over. Well, Emmetsburg, they've sent the minimum to the plate so far through 2 innings, and Algona leading 3-0 on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC. Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
As we come back here on Hometown Radio KLGA, it's Algona 3 and Emmetsburg nothing. Heading to the top half of inning number 3, Carson Fetland trying to settle in for Emmetsburg, and he'll face hitters number 3, 4, and 5 in the Bulldog lineup. That's Aiden Ulrich, Logan Lentz, and Reed Luwaji. Ulrich retired his first at bat on a pop up to first base. Right-handed hitter for the Bulldogs. Stepping in here as the Bulldogs scored 1 run in the first, 2 in the second. Big hit so far, a 2-run single by Dawson Elsbecker. The kick and the pitch. Swinging first pitch is Ulrich, and he lines a shot into right center field for a base hit. Getting over quickly is Madden. He bobbles, but returns it to the infield as Ulrich will be held to a single. That's the way to go if you're Ulrich, though. Get up there. You're not waiting around, not spotting a strike to Fetland, who's trying to get ahead of the hitters here and really dot the zone. He's throwing a lot of strikes so far today, so you've got to go up and be ready for this, ready to swing for the Bulldogs, and Ulrich was. So another base hit for the Bulldogs, as that's hit number 6 of the ball game so far. Logan Lentz walked his first time up, as he will be the batter. Ulrich at first base. Modest lead. And Lentz flies the first pitch fairly deep to center field. Madden is tracking it back. Now he's sprinting backwards. That ball's deep, and it's gone! Logan Lentz to dead center field. Homers for the Bulldogs, and it's 5-0. That ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying to dead center field on this now still night here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Logan Lentz just going to dead center, and the Bulldogs attack Fetland right off the bat. A first pitch line drive single by Aiden Ulrich, and a first pitch homer to dead center by Logan Lentz, who's going to be mobbed by his teammates heading into the dugout. You'll love to see it for the senior, driving one out of the yard, add 2 more RBIs to the total. And not to mention, that's Lentz' first base hit of the year, and does that in a big way. So 5-0 Bulldogs. Lentz a shot to dead center field, and I'll tell you what, folks, he waited until after I talked about how Emmetsburg moved back the fences here at the field before he muscled one out to dead center. Impressive there for Logan Lentz as Reed Luwaji takes a called strike. Luwaji was struck out looking his first time around, as he's 0 for 1 so far today. The set by Fetland, the kick and the pitch. Inside, and that one almost grazed Luwaji. Almost looked like it did, but Luwaji not reacting, so count will be even now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield straight up for Luwaji. The right fielder, Hosbrook, though, a little ways off the line as Luwaji flies that one fairly deep to center field. Madden backing up a couple of steps. He's in front of the warning track, and he'll make the catch, as that is out number 1 of the inning. We haven't seen a ton of fly balls tonight, but boy, between those two, they're carrying very well to dead center. I mean, Luwaji hit that one pretty well, but again, that's still night. You don't have a wind to work against. And Luwaji came just shy of the warning track on the fly out, as that'll be out number 1. Mason Ulrich, the batter, popped out to first base his first time around. Ulrich attacks the first pitch, flies that one right side. That'll get out of play. 3 out of the first 4 batters the Bulldogs have sent to the plate this inning have attacked the first pitch. This is trip number 2 for the batting order, so second time the Bulldogs are seeing Fetland. And now the hitters feel they have A, him timed up, and B, they know what kind of pitches he can bring. And they know he's been attacking the strike zone tonight, so no need to wait back and get down 0-1. Ulrich watching. There's a called strike. He's behind in the count 0-2. Well, now the question for Emmetsburg is, can you generate enough offense after having spotted Algona 5 runs? Ehawks with just 6 hits in their first 2 games this season as there's a slow roller towards shortstop, charged by Bay. He has it, he throws to first base, and that ball is dropped at first base and saved his Ulrich. That'll be an error for Emmetsburg as their second of the night. Ulrich able to reach first base. So Bulldogs keep the train rolling here in the top half of inning number 3. And we'll see again if the bottom of the order can give competitive at-bats. So far, 7, 8, and 9 in the Bulldog order. 3 for 3 tonight. Hoyt Crouch doubled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. That was a play that could have been made in left field as Crouch watched the first pitch up high for ball 1. Last time up, Crouch drove on to left field. Dietrich, the left fielder, actually started in, but then had to slam on the brakes and reverse and try to sprint backwards, misjudging the fly ball. That does go down as a double in the scorebooks, though. Pitch to Crouch. He flies it again to left field. This one's pretty well hit. Going back on it, though, is Dietrich, and he'll make the catch. He is not fooled that time, as going back to first base is Ulrich. That's a good sign, though, by Crouch. You'd like to see him hitting a couple balls well to the outfield here in tonight's game, as that is out number 2 of the inning. Daniel Kemna 1 for 1 tonight. Infield single to shortstop, as he came around to score during that second inning as well. He'll bat. 2 outs, runner at first base. Dawson Elsbecker on deck for the Bulldogs, should they get it around to that point. Kemna hits up at the front of that right-handed box, and he'll watch that first pitch go by for ball 1. Much like the previous batters, outfield at about the same depth. Again, that right fielder, Hosbrook, way off the line in right field, though. So if one of the Bulldog hitters can go inside out to right, you could have a potential double if you can dump one into the right field away from the gap. 2-0 count now to Kemna. Most of the infield engulfed in shadows right now. Third base, first base, they're all in shadows. 2 middle infielders still doing with some sunlight here in Emmetsburg. Hands at the letters. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's up and into Kemna, and he works ahead in the count 3-0. So far tonight, Fetland has only dished out 1 walk, but in danger of number 2 as he's behind 3-0 against Kemna. Ulrich at first, 2 outs, 3-0 pitch. That one is inside corner for ball 4, so just off the inside corner. Runners now to first and second for the Bulldogs as Kemna draws the second Algona walk of the night. And the number 9 hitter, Dawson Elsbecker, who hit a 2-run single his first time around, heading up to the plate. First couple RBIs in the career of Elsbecker as well. The second baseman, Chizik, will hold the runner at second base. First and second for the Bulldogs of 2 outs, top of the third. Elsbecker swings the first pitch, pops it up third base side. That one is going to get over the dugout, and it'll be strike 1. That ball just plants in the grass third base side, so still a little moisture on the grass. That's going to leave a divot over there third base side as someone with a couple of dogs goes over there, but picks it up before the dogs can pick it up. 0-1 count. Up next, Tate Garment as he waits on deck, leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. Elsbecker, the number 9 hitter, waving that bat above the right shoulder. The 0-1 pitch, inside, backs Elsbecker off the plate. That pitch had a little run to the inside, never came back over the plate as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Emmetsburg will have 7, 8, 9 in their batting order in the next half inning as the 1-1 pitch is inside. Elsbecker backs up again, and it's a 2-1 count. Elsbecker wears that shin guard on the front foot as he climbs back into the right-handed box, hitting up near the front of the box as well. Set by Fetland. The look towards second base. And a pick off to second base, diving back in and getting in there safely is Ulrich as the ball was dropped at second. The shortstop, Bay, was covering that time, trying to deke Ulrich. Usually for a right-handed batter, it's the second baseman who does most of the covering because you're expecting the right-handers to pull the ball to the shortstop side, but the shortstop, Bay, has been playing close there as well as Elsbecker pops this one up. It's coming back towards the press box. Look out back here, and it lands in the back row of the bleachers. I would say close call, but we've got a screen on the front of the press box, so there's going to be nothing coming up here tonight. No chances for me to try to catch a foul ball. It's a 2-2 count on Elsbecker. But not a great attempt there by the fans in the back row. Everyone cleared out of the way as that ball was coming in. It's Ulrich at second base. Runner at first is Kemna. The pitch is rolled towards the mound. Diving stop by Fetland. He's got to get up. He throws from his knees, and he throws it away. Here comes another run for the Bulldogs. Scoring is Ulrich. Coming around third base is Kemna. He'll try to score as well, and he will slide in safely. 2-run score for the Bulldogs, and the throwing error proves to be costly for Emmetsburg. A couple more unearned runs coming in, and it's just a slow dribbler off the mound. Great diving stop by Fetland. Threw from the knees, but it was low, and the first baseman Malm couldn't dig it out. This is now a 4-run inning for Algona, who leads at 7-0 with 2 outs here in the top half of 3. And the second errorless inning by Emmetsburg. That means every run that scores this inning is going to be unearned. But I don't think the Bulldogs much care about that, as they lead at 7-0. And now going to be a mound visit as the catcher. Bonk is going to go out and talk with Fetland. But Fetland extremely frustrated right now. Pounded the ground after he threw that ball away, as he knows it was a costly play for Emmetsburg. And I mean, it's a play you've got to try to make. If that throw is dug out or it's a little bit higher, then that's out number 3 of the inning and you're out of it. But I think in Fetland's mind, you also know if you just eat that ball, no runs coming to score, and you're living to battle another day against Garmin. But I don't think you can complain too much. That ball got to the mound quickly. He got squared up from his knees and threw from a good position, but just threw it in low and kind of spiked it as he throws a pick off to second base. Back out of a dive. Safely is Elsbecker. So 2 errors this inning for Emmetsburg, 3 errors tonight, and a 7-0 Algona lead here on your Wednesday evening. Both middle infielders play close to the bag. The pitch fouled off. As Garmin so far tonight, 1 for 2. Singled in his most recent at-bat back during the second inning, which was a 2-run inning for the Bulldogs. But Algona doubling their run total every inning. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. We'll see what happens with the rest of this inning, but going to be tough to have an 8-run fourth and keep the doubling trend up. Pitch is just off the inside corner there as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike to Garmin. Chance to help his own cause for the Bulldogs. The set by Fetland holds the hands of the letters. The next pitch dribbled towards the mound, and that was fouled off his leg, I thought. He's limping towards first base. Yeah, they've got to call that a foul ball. There we go. It took a minute, but they're going to call that foul. I don't think Garmin would go limping towards first base if it wasn't, so they'll bring everyone back to their respective bases. Elsbecker to second base, Garmin to first. He limped about 3/4 of the way down to first base before they said foul ball and called it dead, but he will head back to the batter's box. Behind in the count here, 1-2. Tate Slagle, the next batter for Algona, if they get it around to him. Hard to remember, but Slagle hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the second. It was a big play at the time for Emmetsburg, but the Bulldogs have kept the pressure on. As the umpire will give Garmin a minute here to walk around and try to walk off that foul ball off the leg. We mentioned some of the Bulldogs wear a shin guard on that front leg. Garmin is not one of them, though, and he's the one who needed it the most, so expect some black and blue on that front leg of Tate Garmin coming tomorrow morning. Gonna have to get some ice on that after the ball game. 2 outs, top of the third. Elsbecker at second base. Fetland trying to finish off this inning. 1-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen as Garmin had to reach for one down and away. A little off balance on that swing as the count will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. But that's all you have to do, just spoil it off until you see a pitch you like. Does look like he's still kind of gimping around on that leg, though, so that low outside pitch might be a little hard for Garmin to reach. We'll have to wait and see where Fetland comes with this one. 1-2 count. Fetland checking second base and trying to throw a pickoff back there. The dive and safe at second base is Elsbecker as Bay applied the tag. Fetland throwing a lot of pickoff moves towards second base. Interesting, though, as a right-handed pitcher, he's actually spinning towards the third base side before throwing to second. That's actually creating a tougher angle, as there is a swing and a miss. Ball's dropped behind home plate, picked up by the catcher Bach. He lobs it over to first base, and that is out number 3 of the inning. So Garmin retired on the strikeout, but the Bulldogs send 8 batters to the plate and take advantage of 2 Emmetsburg errors. Bulldogs score 4 runs in the third and lead 7-0, heading to the bottom half of 3 on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
At Security State Bank, we focus on the needs of local families, businesses, and farmers. Decisions are made locally. We live and work in your neighborhood, helping to keep our local community vibrant and growing. We're involved in local community events. We believe in personalized service and advice that meets or exceeds your expectations. We're Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Bankers who believe in you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Algona takes advantage of 2 Emmetsburg errors and scores 4 unearned runs in the top half of the 3rd inning. And now Tate Garman can go back to work. He has faced the minimum through 2 innings. He only allowed 1 base runner, but that base runner was retired on a caught stealing as Garman was able to step off the mound and get him caught at second base. So Garman's faced the minimum, meaning he'll face 7, 8, and 9 this inning. Aiden Fair-Opine was the batter last time around when the runner, Mena, tried to time up Garman and took off a little bit too early. So Opine will start with a fresh 0-0 count against Garman here in the bottom half of 3 as Fair-Opine will bat. Swenson after that. Chizik, the 3rd hitter of the inning. 7, 8, and 9 in Emmetsburg lineup. As Aiden Fair-Opine, the designated hitter, steps back in. Garman stretch in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went for the high fastball, and Fair-Opine couldn't catch up to it as it's an 0-1 count. As we said, Garman really trying to solidify himself as that go-to number 3 arm for the Bulldogs. If you've got 3 solid starters, you can really work your way through the season, but pitching depth, definitely a question going into the year for the Bulldogs. Who are going to be those relievers who come in? How do you kind of balance out the starters as well? But it is not negotiable. You need 3 guys that you can rely on a night-to-night basis to really try to contend for a conference title. 1-1 count. The kick of the pitch by Garman. Ground ball hits softly towards shortstop, charged by Orwick. The third baseman Lawaji cuts in front. Guns to first base, throws up and away though, and it pulls the first baseman Lentz off the bag. Safe at first base. Aiden Fair-Opine. It was a very slowly hit ball. Lawaji knew he had to get to that one and unload it in a hurry. And he threw a 90-mile-per-hour missile across the diamond, but pulled the first baseman Lentz off the bag. So Aiden Fair-Opine on first base. We'll call that an infield single. And Gavin Swenson, the third baseman, will be the batter. Swenson, not a right-handed hitter for the Ehawks. Swanson, I beg your pardon. Swanson 0 for 6 so far this season as a pickoff to first base, but back in there safely for dive is Fair-Opine. Swanson has struck out 5 times in 6 at-bats so far, looking to get one into play here for the Ehawks and put some pressure on the Bulldog defense. Garman kicks and delivers, but misses downstairs for a ball, and the count goes 1-0. Swanson batted .211 last year, knocked in 11 runs as a sophomore for the Ehawks. Now batting here in the bottom half of 3. Garman holds the hands just below the belt, kicks and delivers as that one sails up and in for a ball, and the count goes 2-0. The field lights just clicking on here at Emmetsburg. Still plenty of daylight left, but we'll start to see that go away as the innings go on. 2-0 pitch. Allen misses outside, and Garman falls behind 3-0. Don't want to give the Ehawks a lot of extra base runners. They came in today just 6 out of 47 at the plate hitting-wise. It's a 128 batting average. Again, small sample size, just 2 games, but their lineup that hasn't quite gotten on track yet is taking all the way is Swanson, and he takes that one for a called strike. Chizik on deck. Swanson first at bat of the night against Garman. Works with a 3-1 count. Kick in the pitch. Slow roller third base side. That'll be foul over to the Emmetsburg dugout. And we will do it with a 3-2 count. Emmetsburg has Aiden Fair-Opine at first base. Gavin Swanson the batter. And Garman trying to fight back after falling behind 3-0 in the count. Garman stretching the pitch. And that one misses a bit up high for ball 4, so after fighting back to a 3-2 count, Garman ends up losing Swanson. And Emmetsburg a chance to try to rally here. First and second, nobody out. And Cooper Chizik, the second baseman, will be the batter. Right-handed hitter wearing jersey number 1 for Emmetsburg. So far this season, 0 for 5 at the dish. As Schlegel will show the signals to the Bulldog defense as the catcher. Try to figure out where everyone's going. Logan Lentz, the first baseman, in on the grass, first base side. Everyone else normal depth for the Bulldog infield. Possibly expecting a bunt. They will square, and he pulls the bat back. Schlegel tried to frame that ball behind home plate, but it's a little bit outside for a ball. Runners at first and second base for Emmetsburg. Bulldog middle infielders will try to get ready for a potential double play as Ulrich is close to the bag at second base. Ulrich, the shortstop, holding the runner on, so a big hole between short and third, but that'll be irrelevant if a bunt gets laid down as he'll pull the bat back, but that is going to be a called strike, evening up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. It kind of looks like they want Luwaji to stay home at third base and Garmin to try to field the bunt third base side. And Lentz, the first baseman, can field a bunt that goes to the first base side. 1-1 count. Chiswick squares around. He pulls the bat back. They'll throw back to second base, and they put the tag on out at second base. Tate Slagle picks off Aiden Fair-Opheim, and a big mistake by Emmetsburg for out number 1 of the inning. What a smart play by Slagle behind home plate. You know, as a catcher, sometimes the runners will start to wander off a little bit further than usual for the secondary lead if the hitter's squaring around a bunt. And Slagle threw back and behind the runner for out number 1 of the inning. Beautiful throw to second base. Tag slapped on by Ulrich, the shortstop. And now a 2-1 count. Chiswick taking, there's a called strike, 2-2 count. Well, this inning will change dramatically if Garmin gets strike 3 here. Started off, 2 runners on base, nobody out. And that could change in a heartbeat. Pick off to first base, back out of a dive safely is Swanson. Bulldog infield goes back to a normal depth with no runner ahead of the runner on first. Lentz will now hold Swanson at first base. Middle infield goes back to playing a normal depth, as does Luwaji at third. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pickoff down to first base. They put the tag on, and they got him! They got him! A strike him out, throw him out, double play. Tate Slagle picks 2 runners off base, and the inning ends and fizzles out just like that for Emmetsburg. E-Hawks run themselves out of the 3rd inning. It's still 7-0 Algona as we head to the top half of 4 on KLGA 92.7 and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beich, Jason Brace, Daniel Folk, and Michael Toll.
Camco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm insurance agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
BMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Carson Fetland goes back to work for Emmetsburg as we enter the top of the 4th inning. It's Algona 7 and Emmetsburg nothing. E-Hawks were threatening during that 3rd inning, trying to score a run and get on the board for the first time tonight. However, they ran themselves out of the inning as Tate Slagle, the catcher, picked a runner off of second base on a bunt attempt, then picked a runner off of first base after a strikeout as well. So Emmetsburg runs into 2 outs on the base paths with guys just wandering too far off the base and not understanding the arm that Tate Slagle has behind home plate. That's the guy who pumps it in there at 90+ on the pitching mound. He played shortstop last year and displayed a great arm, and now behind home plate, he is throwing it all over the diamond and getting a couple of outs for the Bulldogs. So Algona will now bat. Speaking of which, Tate Slagle, he'll be the hitter. Slagle, Ulrich, Lentz this inning for the Bulldogs. Slagle 1 for 2 tonight. He singled, then he hit into a double play in the 1st and 2nd inning respectively as Slagle launches that pitch deep left center field. It's a line drive, frozen rope, and it's in the gap. 1 hop up against the wall. Slagle will cruise into second base, and they're going to say home run. I thought that ball went under the fence. That's, yeah, the field umpire is going to overrule the home plate umpire. Home plate umpire said home run, but that ball went under the fence, so that's got to be a ground rule double. Slagle is wandering off the second base. He wants a home run there, and now the umpires will talk it over. That, yeah, if they call that a home run, that would be a mistake. I mean, that ball looked to bounce before the fence. It went through the fence somehow. That is a ground rule double, folks. That's got to go over the fence. In any case, though, whatever they rule here, that was an absolute laser beam by Slagle left center field, and his great hitting early in the season continues. With tonight combined, he has only made 2 outs in 3+ games as a batter. Did homer once earlier this season against Charles City, and he is just locked in at the plate right now. They're going to say home run. Wow. I got to be honest, folks. I mean, I'm 400 feet away from where that ball was, but I really thought that went under the fence. I think the Bulldogs are catching a break on that one, but homer number 2 of the season by Tate Slagle. How about that? That ball was barely high enough to get over the fence, but somehow they say it did, and it's 8-0 Algona. They have scored in every inning so far today. So Aiden Ulrich will be the batter following the home run by Tate Slagle. Slagle now 2 for 3 at the plate tonight. Ulrich singled in his last at-bat. He popped up to second base, and he singled as well. That was his most recent at-bat back during the 3rd inning. As everyone will settle back into their positions. Outfield once again very deep for Ulrich. Madden in center field is nearly out to the warning track. Of course, Logan Lentz waits on deck. He homered for the Bulldogs, 1 of 2 Algona homers tonight. Lentz hit that homer back during the 3rd inning, which seems a long time ago, but we're really only playing in the top of the 4th right now. Here's the kick, and the first pitch to Ulrich. Attacks the first pitch, flies it deep towards right center field. This one's towards the gap. It's towards the fence, and it's gone! Aiden Ulrich to right center field. Back-to-back jacks by the Bulldogs to start off the 4th inning, and it's 9-0 Algona. Second home run of the season by Aiden Ulrich, showing that oppo power tonight. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, I told you earlier tonight, they moved the right and right center field fence back here at Emmetsburg High School. They dug out that hill a little bit and moved the fence back, but that has not bothered the Bulldogs. 3 home runs tonight by Algona, and it comes from the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Logan Lentz, the 4-hitter, homers during the 3rd, and here in the 4th inning, Tate Slagle and Aiden Ulrich both go yard. 9-0 Bulldogs, and that may be it for Fetland. They're having a conference on the mound right now, are the Emmetsburg Ehawks, and Fetland is going to exit this ball game. So Fetland exits, it's 9-0 Algona. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming up next after this timeout on KLGA 92.7.
Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Strowman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services. Celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water Connection. From softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
A surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation, or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
The Algona Bulldog batters locked and loaded tonight. It's Algona 9, Emmetsburg nothing as we play in the top half of the 4th inning on 92.7 KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Carson Fetland is done after 3+ innings as the Bulldogs hit back-to-back homers to start the 4th and bring in a new pitcher with Matthew Malm. He'll take the mound for Emmetsburg. Easy switch as Malm heads from first base to the mound and Fetland goes over the first base. Now Malm making his first pitching appearance of this season. Last year as a freshman he pitched in 4 games, 1 of them a start, did not record any decisions. Malm pitched 7 innings, allowed 15 runs, but only 4 of them are earned as Malm walked 2 and struck out 1 in those 7 innings. Opponents batted .209 against him and he had an ERA of 4. Well, Fetland's final line looks like this. Pitched 3+ innings tonight, allowed 8 hits, struck out 2, walked 2, allowed 9 runs. Only 4 of those runs are earned, and Fetland, unfortunately for him, has himself to blame for a lot of those unearned runs as he committed 2 errors himself, and that directly led to some of those runs. He committed an error during the first inning on a pickoff throw that was thrown to center field and let a run come around to score, then committed a 2-out error during the 3rd inning as he threw a ball away that was a comebacker to the mound, and that allowed some runs to score for the Bulldogs as well after there were 2 outs. First pitch in for a strike to Logan Lentz. He's been on twice tonight. 1 was a walk, 1 was a home run, dead center field. We'll see if he can do it again. 0-1 pitch inside, and that one almost drilled him. Not sure how he got out of the way of that one as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, this inning started with we'll call it a questionable home run by Tate Slagle, and that's not to bang on Tate. He hit an absolute missile to the left center field line drive, but it really looked like a ground rule double more so than the home run. Again, folks, maybe I just didn't see what I thought I saw, but looked to be a double. The base umpire said double, the home plate umpire said home run, and the home plate umpire prevailed as Lentz pops it to shallow right field. The ball is dropped. It's dropped, and Lentz is going to be safe at first base as Chizik couldn't squeeze it at second base. So Lentz able to reach on the E4, and the Bulldogs still, if nobody out here in the top half of the fourth inning, looking to get up into double digits. They have scored in double-digit runs 2 of their first 3 games. Had the 11 runs against Spencer, which weren't quite enough, and had the 11 runs against Charles City, which was more than enough in the season opener. Into the batter's box, Reed Lawanji for the Bulldogs, as he is the only Bulldog that has yet to reach base tonight, trying to change that as the pitch is up and in, spins his head out of the way. Lawanji a strikeout and a fly out to center so far. 9-0 Algona. Sun setting here in Emmetsburg. The field now completely in shadows, and we'll have the sun entirely set here in just a little bit. Stretch in the pitch. Foul directly back to the screen. Lawanji had a great cut at that one, but he will fall behind in the count. Or I should say, even up the count at 1-1. Bulldogs 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. All leading to a 9-0 lead as the Bulldogs go for the non-conference portion of the schedule early in the season before really starting to get into North Central play. 1-1 pitch. That one is just going to miss. Lawanji works ahead in the count 2-1. Algona, as we talked about, started the season off with a non-conference game against Charles City. Followed that up by playing Spencer and Bishop Garrigan, both non-conference foes. Of course, tonight, non-conference. It's North Central against Twin Lakes Conference, as far as the two teams are concerned, as Lawanji rockets that one. Deep left field, back towards the corner, and it's down. It's into the corner for a base hit. And the Bulldogs will stop the runners. Uh-oh, Lawanji might get tied up here. He's got to scramble back to first base, and he is going to slide in there safely. Well, Coach Slagle put the stop sign on at third base for Logan Lentz. I believe Lentz could have made it to third base fairly easily, but I think that might have been more of a not running up the score stop sign, as he will stop Lentz at second base. Once again, Lawanji had a rocket towards left field down the line. Left fielder Dietrich couldn't get over to it, but he did cut the ball off quickly enough, returned it to the infield. And now first and second for the Bulldogs as the hit parade continues. Still nobody out here in the top of the fourth, as the Bulldogs will see a pickoff move thrown towards second base, but nobody on the bag. Chizik will make the catch at second base, but he was a couple feet off the bag, as easily back there is Logan Lentz. Mason Ulrich, the batter, popped out and reached on an air. The set by Malm, hands to the belt, high kick in the pitch, foul directly back to the screen as Ulrich gets right after it. A non-conference game tonight between the Bulldogs and the E-Hawks. Algona will continue the non-conference schedule tomorrow night. One of the toughest games of the season, the road trip to Newman Catholic. Always a Class 1A powerhouse, although surprisingly did not make it to state last year. Got upset in the sub-state final by St. Ansgar, as that pitch will even things up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, a new-look Newman Catholic team this year. No Doug Taylor, no Max Burt, both playing their college baseball for the Iowa Hawkeyes. So the Knights trying to reload, as they've done many times over the past decade plus. But tonight, the Bulldogs getting some momentum going into that game. 1-1 pitch, Ulrich flies at first base side, foul out of play towards some Bulldog fans over behind the fence. And it'll be a 1-2 count on Mason Ulrich. Hoyt Crouch on deck, Daniel Kemna in the hole for the Bulldogs. 9-0 Algona, as the runner at second base, Lentz, the runner at first base, Lawanji. Well, when Lentz got that stop sign at second base, Lawanji, he was about 80% of the way to second base. Had to get all the way back to first. Emmetsburg was a little slow turning that cutoff into a throw at first, and Lawanji was able to get back there safely. And not too big of a deal in the 9-0 game, but always got to keep an eye on the base runner ahead as there's a ground ball towards third base. It is off the glove of Swanson, and everyone's going to be safe. Swanson has a range towards shortstop, and not an easy play, but unable to make it. And the Bulldogs have the bases loaded. We'll call that an infield single by Mason Ulrich. Bags are full of Bulldogs, and Hoyt Crouch will be the batter. Crouch doubles left field and flew out to left field, as he's hit the ball well a couple of times so far tonight. Emmetsburg is going to pull the infield in and try to get the force play at the plate. And now they're going to bring the middle infield back and look for a double play of the middle infielders, but the corner infield will stay in at the cut of the grass. Pitch to Crouch, high fastball for ball 1 from Malm. Well, it's relevant enough to start talking about the run rule. It is 10 runs after 5 innings. So if the Bulldogs go up 10-0 here, Emmetsburg would still have 6 outs to try to get that under 10, as there's a swing and a miss by Crouch. Or you could go by 15 after 3 innings, which if the Bulldogs score 6 runs this inning, 6 more runs, that is, this inning, that would be relevant, but still a long way to go for that. Right now, 1-1 count to Crouch, waving the bat above his helmet. Pitches up and in as Crouch leans back. Count goes to 2-1 on the Bulldogs senior. Bags full of Bulldogs right now. It's Lentz at third base, Lawanji at second, Ulrich at first. The on-deck hitter, Daniel Kemna. The kick in the 2-1. Swing and a miss by Hoyt Crouch. Went fishing for that one and frustrated with himself as he'll step out and collect himself. Now a 2-2 count. Bulldogs 9 and Ehawks nothing here on this Wednesday night in Emmetsburg. Perfect night for a ball game. Not too hot, not too cold, and most importantly, no rain. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Crouch right on that one. And the count will stay even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. After Algona plays Newman Catholic tomorrow night, their first NCC game will be Friday night. A road trip to Webster City to play the Lynx. Webster City unseeded by Humboldt last year in the conference race. Humboldt went a perfect 14-0 in NCC games to win the conference before they lost in the first round of the playoffs. As Crouch checks swing, but it's a called strike on the outside corner. Crouch didn't like it, but he will head back to the dugout with the backwards K as Malm retires him. And the batter will be Daniel Kemna. Kemna, a single and a walk so far tonight. Came around to score both times. 1 out, bases will stay full of Bulldogs. Algona looking to put the ball in play here, as Emmetsburg will have the third baseman Swanson holding the runner, and Kemna fouling it back to the screen for a strike run. The first baseman Fetlin playing in front of the runner, right at the edge of the grass. Middle infield staying back, as again they'll look to turn a double play on a ball hit up the middle. Elsbecker waits in the on-deck circle, as Kemna was fouling the first pitch back. Kemna watches that one outside for a ball, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Bulldogs trying to get in double digits scoring-wise for the 3rd time in 4 games. Already 2 runs this inning on the back-to-back home runs by Slagle and Ulrich. Here's the set and the 1-1 pitch. Inside, and that one nearly got him, but Kemna was able to get out of the way as the count goes to 2-1. We had a light wind to start off tonight, but now no wind whatsoever. That flag in center field, absolutely motionless. 2-1 count. Malm kicking the pitch. Kemna, one hopper to shortstop, diving backhanded stop by Bay. Goes to second for 1, relay the first, and they got him! A double play and the inning is over. Second, 6-4 free, the double play of the night, and Bay for web gem. 1 hop stop on the backhand, able to turn the 6-4 free double play. Emmetsburg gives up 2 runs, but they get out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam, and the Bulldogs will stay at 9. It's Algona 9, Emmetsburg nothing on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
This broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
Dump it. They do the dirty work so you don't have to.
Albert Electric. Flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Yemlin Builders and Apartments, quality apartments for rent, beauty and craftsmanship that will never go out of style.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Coach Chad Slagle, and you're listening to Algona Bulldog Baseball on KLGA Hometown Radio.
Tate Garman going back to work. He has faced the minimum through 3 innings as Garman and the Bulldogs leading 9-0 against Emmetsburg, but it could be a lot more. Daniel Kemna had a hot ground ball to shortstop, but MJ Bay made a great diving backhanded stop, turned a 6-4 free double play. Second diving stop of the night by MJ Bay at shortstop, resulting in a 6-4 free double play. So I'll tell you what, Emmetsburg, they have a great defensive shortstop out there patrolling the middle infield. Bay has flashed the leather tonight. If there was gold gloves in the Twin Lakes Conference, he might have clinched it already of tonight's performance. But in any case, it's back to the top of the order now. Second time through against Tate Garman. Cameron Madden will be the batter as he fouled out to first base his first time around. Right-handed hitter, jiggling the bat above the right shoulder. Watches the first pitch, a fastball popping into the glove of Slagle behind home plate as the count goes to 0-1. Bulldogs 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. 0-1 by Garman, and that one is just off the plate. Slagle trying to bring that one back in and frame it, but the umpire behind home plate not biting. Count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Bulldogs and the E-Hawks here on Hometown Radio KLGA, as there's a late swing and a miss. Outside corner fastball, and Madden just couldn't catch up to the heat as he's behind in the count 1-2. Tomorrow night, we are going to go back to the Crosstown softball game that was supposed to be played tonight, as Garman sets and delivers. Just off the outside corner, as that's a good take by Madden. 2-2 count. But I was by the Garrigan softball diamond earlier today, and there was standing water at first base, standing water at second base, and standing water at third base. So not evaporated by the time the game got around, as Garman spikes that pitch in there, and the count goes full of 3-2. So Crosstown softball game got postponed to tomorrow night, but we'll have it for you right here on KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream, as first pitch in that one set for 7 o'clock. Bulldog baseball team, as we said, they'll be heading to Newman tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch. Flared towards shallow right field, going out the second baseman Kemna, and it's over his head, dropping in for a base hit. Nice at bat, leading off the inning by Cameron Madden. Works the count full and then just dumps a soft line drive into right field to give Emmetsburg their first base runner of the inning. MJ Bay now the batter. Bay a strikeout victim his first time up, and as we said, Bay flashing the leather at shortstop. Like a prime Omar Vizquel out there. Runner at first base is Madden. Bay, the right-handed batter, digs in. The kick and the pitch. And that's a fastball missing just up and away. And Slagle is trying very hard behind home plate to bring those pitches that are about 2 or 3 inches outside back into the zone, but the home plate umpire right on top of it. 1-0 pitch. And Garman spikes the breaking ball outside and falls behind 2-0 against MJ Bay. Bronson Dietrich on deck. Carson Fetland in the hole for Emmetsburg. Fetland on the hook for the decision, barring a huge rally by Emmetsburg tonight, as he gave up the 9 runs, 4 of them earned in his pitching outing. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball towards third base. Lawaji takes the high hop, guns it to second base. It's low, and Kemna can't pick it. An error for the Bulldogs. They were looking to turn a double play that time, and it'll be first and second. Nobody out for Emmetsburg.
13, Bronson Dietrich.
So Bay to first base. Bronson Dietrich the batter, as it's Madden on second, Bay on first. Dietrich popping out to first base his first time around. Right-handed batter wearing jersey number 13 for the E-Hawks. And now for the second inning in a row, Garman faces a first and second nobody out situation. I doubt Dietrich will bunt those at number 3 hitters. He takes a called strike. Of course, last inning, Tate Slagle, the catcher, picked 2 runners off base. And the first and second nobody out situation quickly disappeared for Emmetsburg, largely as a result of what Tate Slagle did behind home plate. 0-1 count. Garman looks towards second base and delivers. Outside fastball, count even at 1-1. Garman really trying to work that outside corner tonight. We have not seen him go inside to a lot of the Emmetsburg hitters so far in this game. It's been a lot of fastballs outside, trying to mix in the occasional changeup as well. Garman's 1-1. Down and away, that was in the dirt. Backhanded pick by Slagle as Garman falls behind in the count 2-1. Long way to go for Emmetsburg, but trying to battle here in the bottom of the 4th, down 9-0 against Algona. Garman the look towards second base. Holds the hands low and delivers. Missed outside, ball's in the dirt. It kicks up the first base line, and the runners are going to move up. Runners up to second and third base for the E-Hawks on the wild pitch by Garman. And all of a sudden, Garman, who was cruising through the first couple of innings, has lost some of the command here, falling behind the initial batters in the 4th inning. It's 3-1 on Bronson Dietrich, and first base now open. But in a 9-0 game, last thing you want to do is start issuing out free passes. First 2 runners on by way of a single and an air, as the umpire will dust off home plate. Dietrich will take a walk around the right-handed batter's box and dig back in. He hits about halfway up on the box, right on top of home plate from the right side. 3-1 count. Lentz and Lawaji at the cut of the grass at first and third base. That's a check swing, and they appealed to the base umpire, and he said yes. Yes, he did. Full count. Dietrich was tempted by that one. That was going to be ball 4, and once again, down and away. Garmin has lost that low outside corner, but Dietrich went after it, and it's a full count. Garmin looking in. The payoff delivery. Fastball, ball 4. He missed the outside corner. That was a competitive pitch, didn't miss by much, but on the 3-2 count, he loses Bronson Dietrich, and now the bases are loaded. Emmetsburg has him loaded. Nobody out here in the bottom half of 4, and Coach Slagle will head out to the mound. Logan Lentz, the first one out there as well for the Bulldogs. We'll see if this is a pitching change visit or this is just a talk things over visit. Don't know the exact pitch count yet for Garmin, but this appears to be more of a talk things over visit than anything because Garmin hasn't exited the mound yet. This may be a situation you let your young pitcher work through a jam, try to get through it here. You've got the 9-0 cushion, obviously, so you want to see how he responds to this adversity of having the bases loaded, nobody out, and having to come to the strike zone as the number 4 hitter, Carson Fetland, is stepping up to the plate. Fetland flied out to left field his first time around. As he bats with the bases loaded, nobody out for the E-Hawks. Well, Garmin had faced the minimum through 3 innings, but barring a triple play here, that is not going to be the case anymore. As the conference of the mound breaks up, and the Bulldogs will head back to their defensive positions. Outfield will stay about medium depth, straight up for Fetland. And we'll see how they align the infield. Lawaji is pretty far off the line at third base, but he is playing at the cut of the grass as he looks to come home. Lentz also off the line at first base, playing at the edge of the grass. Middle infield will stay back for Algona as Fetland steps into the box. Fetland batting, Hausberg on deck, Bach in the hole. First pitch, Fetland cutting and missing. Went right after that first pitch fastball, and it's a strike, 0-1 count. I think Fetland is well aware that after that mound of his, you want to get ahead as the batter and really set the tone. Next pitch to Fetland, line drive towards second base, and it's through into right center for a base hit. 1 run scores for the E-Hawks. Here comes a second run being waved around. Bay to the plate, he's going to score, and all the way to third is Dietrich. A 2-run single by Carson Fetland, and Emmetsburg is on the board. That'll make it 9-2 as the E-Hawks scratch a couple runs across here in the bottom half of 4, and they are far from done. Brennan Hausberg the batter now as Madden and Bay score on that RBI single by Fetland. Hausberg 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking his first time around. It's first and third for Emmetsburg. Dietrich moves up to third base. Fetland to first. And Garmin now laboring here in the 4th inning. 9-2 Algona, still nobody out, bottom half of 4. Garmin sets and delivers. Misses outside again at the fastball. 1-0 count. If I'm the Emmetsburg hitters, I'm A, standing on top of home plate, and B, I'm leaning out over the plate because Garmin is really not coming inside at all this inning. It's been everything away. I'm sitting on that outside fastball from Emmetsburg, and I'm waiting for it to come to the zone as it's a 2-0 count. But there's a huge gap in right center field for the Bulldogs. Crouch, the right fielder, is playing fairly close to the line and shallow in right field, and the center fielder, Ellsbecker, slightly towards left center field. So this is an optimal situation for Hausberg to try to poke one in the right center field gap and take advantage of the Bulldog defensive alignment. Hausberg watches that one go downstairs for a ball, and Garmin falls behind 3-0. Well, Garmin may be on a short leash now. You got the visit. You got the message from Coach Slagle, and still Garmin is having trouble coming into the zone here. Started off great tonight, but hitting a speed bump here in the bottom of the 4th. Set by Garmin on the 3-0 pitch. And that one is taken. It's on the outside corner for a called strike. Hausberg flinched a little bit, looked like he was ready to go to first base, but that pitch found the corner, and the count goes to 3-1. Set by Garmin. 3-1 pitch. That one's in the zone for a called strike, and that time Hausberg did take a step towards first base, planted that back foot right on home plate as he took the first step and got ready to discard the bat, but instead it'll be a full count. 3-2 payoff pitch on the way. Popped up behind home plate. It's back towards the screen. Slagle gives it a look, and he comes back into play. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did! That ball angled its way back into play. Slagle almost overran the ball. He went all the way to the screen third base side, and then all of a sudden he realized he was overrunning it, had to lunge back into the field of play and make the catch, but that is out number 1 of the inning on a big foul pop out to the catcher. So Hausberg retired. Carson Bach, the batter, hit by a pitch his first time around. Left-handed batter for the Ehawks. It's out of a slightly closed left-handed stance as he attacks the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Healthy cut for Bach as he falls behind in the count 0-1. So Garmin gets the first out he needed. Now with the left-handed batter up, the center fielder Alsbecker shifts towards right center field. He's a couple steps over towards right center. The big gap right now is towards left center. 0-1 count, the pitch by Garmin. Inside corner, called strike, and it's an 0-2 count. That's the same spot he was trying to hit to the right-handed batters. That's away to the righty, into the lefty, and he works ahead 0-2 against Carson Bach. Garmin's 0-2 delivery. Fouled back to the screen, tried to bust him in on the hands, but couldn't get all the way in, and it's fouled back again by Bach. Just able to fight that one off and keep it alive with an 0-2 count. Bulldogs 9, Ehawks 2. Algona trying to even their season record at 2-2. The set by Garmin. 0-2 offering. Inside again, but it's rolled towards the first base side, foul, and we'll do it again if an 0-2 count. That pitch was probably far enough inside where that would be called a ball if Bach didn't swing at it, but he's protecting with 2 strikes. Did a fantastic job at the time just pulling the hands in and spoiling that pitch off. Most left-handed hitters are not going to be able to get their hands around on that one. 0-2 count. Garmin brings it. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He got him. That's a big K by Tate Garmin. And now a chance to limit the damage this inning. Still runners first and third. And now Aiden Fair open the batter. 1 for 1 of a single so far today. Well, the Ehawks had runners on first and third if nobody out, and 2 runs already in. Now it's first and third, 2 outs, and no further runs have scored since those initial 2 of the inning. Pitch to Fair Opine, outside corner called strike as Garmin is trying to recapture the zone. 0-1 count. Due up for the Bulldogs in their half of the inning, 9-1-2 in the batting order. Alsbecker, Garmin, and Slagle. Stretching in the pitch. Garmin maybe a little bit low on that one. That one looked over the plate, but a little bit low as the count evens up 1-1. Ehawks have Dietrich at third base, Fetland at first. Garmin now working a little bit quicker, brings the 1-1. It's outside, nice block by Slagle. Slid all the way over to the left-handed batter's box and got his body fully in front of that, deadening off the padding as the count goes 2-1. Here's Garmin's 2-1 offering. Puts that one right over the plate for a called strike at the knees, and the count evens up 2-2. So can Garmin limit the damage? 2-2 count. Runners at first and third and 2 outs. As the Bulldog sophomore comes set and brings the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and the tag is made at home plate as it was a drop strike 3, and there's the out. So Garmin gives up 2 runs, but he gets 3 outs in a row to work out of the first and third. Nobody out jam, and the Ehawks are done here in the bottom half of 4. We go to the 5th. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Countryside barbecue sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Tafe Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Signworks for all of your signage needs, as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on the radio.
Fifth inning rolling around here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. As we welcome you back to Emmetsburg High School. Right now it's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 as the Ehawks score their first 2 runs of the ball game on a 2-run single by Carson Fetland. However, Algona holds a 9-2 lead as we get set to play here in the top half of inning number 5. For the Bulldogs, 9-1-2 in the batting order. Dawson Elsbecker, Tate Garmin, and Tate Slagle, as Elsbecker hit a 2-run single in the second, then reached on an error during the 3rd inning. And he will face Matthew Malm, who came on in relief of Carson Fetland. With a clean inning and a fresh inning, Malm will go from the windup. Malm winds it up and brings the pitch. Inside corner, a little bit in on the hands of Alsbecker, and the count goes to 1-0. Bulldogs have scored every inning so far, trying to keep that going. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Wind in the 1-0 pitch. Alsbecker pops that one high in the air. That's coming back over home plate. And that one will get over the press box as the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Brand new press box here at Emmetsburg High School, situated right behind home plate. We've certainly enjoyed that so far tonight. As Malm has the sign he wants, motions and delivers. And that one is in the zone for a called strike, and Alsbecker behind 1-2. Garmin on deck, Slagle in the hole for the Bulldogs. 1-2 count to start off the top of the fifth on Dawson Alsbecker. Malm rocks into his motion and brings the 1-2 pitch. Alsbecker flares that one back over the screen, foul, and will do it again if a 1-2 count. Malm and the E-Hawks all wear those old school high socks. Only one not doing it is their catcher, Bach, and their first baseman, Fetland. 7 out of the 9 players on the diamond have those high black socks, though, as the 1-2 pitch to Alsbecker is in there for a called strike 3, and the Bulldog number 9 man retired, looking to start off the 5th inning. So Alsbecker is done here in the 5th. Tate Garman, the batter now for Algona, 1 for 3 so far tonight. His lone hit a single back in the 2nd inning. And so far the pitcher of record for Algona. Here's Malm motioning and delivering, and that is a high pop-up, looking to stay in play right side. Back to the screen goes the catcher, Bach, and he bobbles it as he can't make the basket catch. Bach was approaching the screen. This is a pretty small foul territory here at Emmetsburg High School, and he kind of ran into the screen a little bit, but he had his full glove on that ball, had a chance to make the catch, and just couldn't squeeze it. As still alive here in the count is Tate Garman. Emmetsburg has had some defensive miscues so far tonight. Unofficially, I have them down for 4 errors in tonight's ball game, as 5 out of the 9 Algona runs tonight have been unearned. Wind down the pitch. Garman backs up, and that's a ball. Slagle on deck for the Bulldogs. Malm settling onto the mound, and home plate umpire calling timeout here as Garman steps out of the batter's box. And I think we've got some lights on in center field. There's a car pulling out of the field, and the lights are on in dead center right in the batter's eye. The person driving the car has no idea that they're disrupting the game, as they're now driving around and exiting here. So we will wait on those folks to drive out of here. Now they're leaving. Here's the wind and the pitch by Malm. Garman fouls it one off first base side. Well, in a field designed like Emmetsburg, the nice thing is you can pull your truck up, you can pull up a seat, watch the game from behind the outfield wall, best seat in the house, and you can be in position to catch one of the many Bulldog home run balls they've hit tonight. The bad news is if you want to leave the game early in the 5th inning, A, everyone's going to see you leaving, and B, the home plate umpire will see you leaving and stop the game because your lights are in the batter's eye. Come on, folks, stay the whole game. Wind in the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-2 count. I know it's 9 o'clock right now, but we're just in the 5th inning. We're just getting started right now. But 9 o'clock right now, beautiful night here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Why not stay the whole baseball game? It's in the 60s, barely any wind, perfect night for baseball. Pitch to Garman, flared in the air towards right field, shallow, heading out the second baseman Chiswick, and he makes the catch for out number 2 of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down for the Bulldogs, and a very quiet start to the 5th here. Uncharacteristic of the way tonight's gone, but 2 outs, nobody on, and Tate Slagle trying to spark something as Slagle has singled, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, and homer to left field. Yonks trying to put their first 0 on the scoreboard of the game, as the Bulldogs have scored at least 1 every inning so far. But Slagle now batting. Had RBI number 6 earlier tonight on that solo shot home run. Stands into the right-handed box. Malm delivers and brings it for a called strike 1. Well, the difference between Malm and Fetland, Malm does bring a little more velocity, so that's something the Bulldogs have had to adjust to hitting-wise, trying to time up the fastball. Slagle is slightly choked up on that right-handed bat as the 0-1 pitch. Will find the low outside corner for a called strike, and behind in the count 0-2 is Tate Slagle. Ulrich on deck, nobody on base. 0-2 count on Slagle, the Bulldog number 2 hitter. As Malm gets back to work. Wind in the 0-2 pitch. Popped up high in the air. Middle of the infield. Shortstop and second baseman converging. Chiswick wanting to make the catch. He backs up on the outfield grass and he grabs it. And that is out number 3 of the inning. First 1-2-3 inning of the night worked by the Emmetsburg pitching staff as Slagle's retired on the pop out to second. And the Bulldogs done in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 heading to the bottom half of 5 on 92.7 KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Town and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
So far tonight, Algona in the driver's seat. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2. In high school baseball action here on Hometown Radio, KLGA, Algona, and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Emmetsburg, though, did score 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and they'll try to get even closer here in the bottom of the 5th, going up against Tate Garman. Garman really labored through that 4th inning, gave up 2 runs, and had first and third with nobody out, with those 2 runs already in, but he worked around those final 2 runners, got 3 outs in a row, and limited the damage. So we'll see if he can shake off that 4th inning, get back to cruise mode here in the 5th, and work against the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Emmetsburg batting order, as Gavin Swanson will be the hitter. Swanson walked his first time around. That was back in the 3rd inning, but he was ultimately picked off at first base by the catcher Tate Slagle on a strike him out, pick him off double play. Bulldogs maybe making a change here. I see Coach Slagle at home plate talking to the home plate umpire, trying to look out over the field and see who exactly has been subbed. Oh, they are going to go for a new pitcher. That is Reed Lawanji now taking to the mound as Garman's heading over to third base. Well, I was going to say Garman was taking warm-up tosses there for the Bulldogs. And something must not be quite right because Lawanji's coming into the ball game. So they're going to give Reed a few warm-up tosses here, and with that, we'll take one more timeout. We'll tell you about Reed Lawanji after this on KLGA.
Pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We welcome you back to the Emmetsburg High School baseball field. Little false start there as far as pitching is concerned. Garman was starting to take some warm-up tosses, but Coach Slagle said not so fast. Reed Lawanji, the seniors, coming into the ball game as Tate Garman will move to third base. Well, Lawanji, one of the many people trying to throw their arms into the mix here for the Bulldogs, as he is making his 2nd appearance of the season. Had a tough go of it against Spencer, but unfortunately he was let down by his defense in that game. Gave up 9 runs, but only one of those runs was earned. Lawanji has an 0-1 record as he was the pitcher of record in that game. Pitched the 2 innings against Spencer during that 12-11 Bulldog loss, but multiple errors behind him led to those 8 unearned runs coming in. So we'll see if the Bulldogs can back up Lawaji here as he takes to the mound. Lawaji facing hitters number 8, 9, and 1 with Swanson stepping in. The senior winds and fires, and there's a swing on this by Swanson. Lawaji slowed it down on them for strike one. Last year, Lawaji pitched in 8 games for the Bulldogs through 11 1/3 innings. Had an .803 earned run average of 8 Ks and 6 walks in those 11 1/3. Opponents batted .235 last year against Reed Lawaji, as he's going to miss off the inside corner for a ball, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, early in the season, especially, all these pitchers, especially ones who didn't throw as many innings last year as Slagle and Ulrich did, are going to be so heavily scrutinized, as the 0-1 make that the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. Just like we said time and time again, Coach Slagle is really looking for those arms you can rely on this season, and if you can get a few scoreless innings from Reed Lawaji here tonight, then you start to think about him in some more high leverage situations. As the 1-2 pitch, maybe getting a few starts, as there's a called strike 3. Gavin Swanson gone looking, and that is out number 1 of the inning. So Lawaji starts off his outing well with the backwards K, and that'll bring up Cooper Chizik, the number 9 hitter, as he struck out his first time around as well. But you're looking for consistency and reliability for the Bulldogs, and again, building that depth in the pitching staff is going to be so huge, because you come into the year with some questions about who are going to be the depth pieces on the pitching staff, who's going to come in on a night like this. There's a foul back to the screen, and the count's 0-1. And who's going to come in on the nights where it's 4-3 in the 7th inning, and your starters' pitches are up to 110. You got to bring in a new pitcher. So, again, all these Bulldogs are really competing. You give just about everyone a chance to pitch at some point in the offseason and see what they have. And you've kind of narrowed down a few guys who are candidates for Coach Slagle, but you really want to see them in the early season game action and how they respond to actual opposing hitters instead of inter-squad games. As the pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-1 count. And of course, with Lawaji, you do have that track record from last season as well. Some experience as a junior for the now senior Reed Lawaji. Chizik go for 1. The 1-1 pitch to him. Fouled first base side. Through the first base coach, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the big thing you like here for Lawaji, getting in the zone and getting ahead with a 9-2 lead, and making sure you don't give Emmetsburg a chance to have another inning where they can get a bunch of base runners on and try to mount some sort of rally here late in the game. 1-2 count. Lawaji rocks and delivers. Popped up first base side. Lentz curling into foul territory, giving it a look. Plenty of space. Makes the catch. And that's 2 up, 2 down by Reed Lawaji, starting off his relief appearance. So back to the top of the order for Emmetsburg, as it'll be Cameron Madden, the center fielder. Madden fouled out to first base. He singled as well so far today, 1 for 2. Final line on Tate Garman, who's in line for the win tonight if the Bulldogs hang on. 4 innings pitched, gave him 3 hits, walked 2 batters and struck out 5, allowed 2 runs, but only 1 of them earned. And as we said, he's in line to get the win tonight should the Bulldogs hang on. Pitch by Lawaji off the inside corner for a ball, and he falls behind 1-0. But Garman now playing shortstop. Aiden Ulrich has slid over to third for the Bulldogs. The wind by Lawaji and the 1-0 pitch. And that one's going to just miss, and the count goes to 2-0. As we said, though, all hands on deck for the Bulldogs next couple of days. Against Newman and Webster City, 2 road games for Algona. Wind in the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Ranging over there is Garman, and it gets right through him into center field for a base hit. That ball took a tricky hop on Garman, and he wasn't able to knock it down, so that'll be a 2-out base runner for Emmetsburg on the single by Cameron Madden, his second base hit of the night. And the 4th batter to hit this inning, MJ Bay. Bay, a strikeout victim his first time up. Reached on an error by Lawaji, the third baseman, his second time up. That was when the Bulldogs tried to turn the double play during the 4th inning, but were unsuccessful in doing so. Bay, as we said, so impressive tonight at the shortstop position, though. He may be the best defender on the field among these 2 teams, as he's had some highlights tonight. He'll fly one towards right field, freezing his crouch. Now he charges in and makes the catch. Crouch did a good job waiting that one out, making sure it didn't go over his head, and charging in last minute to make the grab as Bay flies out to right on the first pitch. So an uneventful inning for Lawaji, puts a runner on first base, but works around it. 1 hit, 1 left on for Emmetsburg. No runs in the bottom of the 5th. It's Algona 9, Emmetsburg 2, heading to inning number 6 on 92.7 KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beich, Jason Brace, Daniel Folt, and Michael Toth.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm insurance agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Top half of inning number 6 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as Matthew Malm goes back to work for Emmetsburg. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2, but I'll tell you what, Malm has looked great in his relief appearance so far tonight. He's in control of the mound, he's bringing a little more velocity, and the Bulldog hitters have not yet figured him out, as it'll be hitters number 3, 4, and 5 this inning. Aiden Ulrich, Logan Lentz, and Reed Lawaji. Ulrich homered to right center field his last time up. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's also singled and popped out to second base tonight. As the wind in the first pitch to Ulrich. Line drive, first base side foul. Ulrich attacking that first offering and lining it off to the right side. Well, you'll love to see these middle of the order hitters for the Bulldogs locked in tonight. As we've said, Slagle, Ulrich, and Lentz have all homered tonight. And they've all been willing to attack pitches early in the count and looking to do damage. That's what you want for those early swings. If you have 2 strikes on you, sure, go into protect mode, but before that point, get ready to attack. As there's a check swing by Ulrich. Count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. So especially a refreshing sign for the Bulldogs after a tough offensive night against Garrigan on Friday where they did not score. To see the bats come back to life tonight against Emmetsburg. A few errors tonight by the E-Hawks as well that the Bulldogs have taken advantage of. 1-1 pitch inside, just off of the inside part of the plate. Almost got Ulrich's shoulder that time, but got out of the way as the count goes 2-1. But you don't see a ton of Oppo homers in high school baseball. You see some pooled home runs, but Oppo power, especially impressive as the pitch to Ulrich is outside for a ball, and the count goes to 3-1 for Malm. Malm has been in the strike zone so far tonight. Couple Ks, no walks, but in danger of losing Ulrich here, down 3-1. Malm motions and brings the 3-1 pitch, and he spiked it for ball 4. That is an inning leading off walk by Aiden Ulrich, who's now been on base 3 times tonight. Starts things off of a walk for the Bulldogs. Now Logan Lentz will be the batter as Lentz, he's been on all 3 times tonight. Lentz a walk, a home run, and reached on an error his last time around. On base 3 times today as Ulrich will be the runner at first base. Held on by Fetland, the previous pitcher for Emmetsburg. Malm will take a quick look at the runner. He kicks and delivers. And Lentz attacks that pitch, lines it into left center field for a base hit. Ulrich will head to second base, and he will stay right there as Logan Lentz wasting no time once again. First pitch single. His home run came on a first pitch as well. And the Bulldogs getting aggressive early in the count throughout the course of tonight. So something brewing here in the 6th for the Bulldogs, up 9-2. Ulrich at second base, Lentz at first base, and Reed Lawaji, the batter. Lawaji started tonight at third base, now pitching. And he is 1 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, fly out, and single. All 9 batters for the Bulldogs have been on base at least once so far in tonight's game. The kick of the pitch by Malm. Lawaji watching that one, and that one is just inside for a ball. Lawaji hit the ball hard as last time up. Down the left field line. Pretty deep, just shy of the warning track, and possibly could have had a double, but the Bulldogs ran the bases conservatively and stopped Logan Lentz in second, and Lawaji almost ran up his back and had to scramble back to first base. 1-0 Lawaji is a high fastball missing, and the count goes 2-0. Still a decent amount of room in left field, though. Dietrich, pretty normal depth in left field, decent ways off the line. Outfield pretty straight up for Lawaji. Right fielder Hasbrook a couple steps in. The kick and the 2-0 pitch. Check swing by Lawaji, but that one is in the strike zone for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1. Calm night here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. I'll tell you what, folks, if we could copy and paste tonight's weather forecast every day for the rest of the baseball season, I don't think a single person would complain. 2-1 pitch is up and into Lawaji, and the count goes to 3-1. I mean, temperatures in the 60s, hardly any bugs out tonight, and no wind whatsoever. This is a kind of calm, early summer baseball night you'll love to see before we get up to the sweltering, humid, and 90s and mosquitoes everywhere. That's surely going to come later in the season. 3-1 count, pitch to Lawaji. Ooh, check swing, and he went. Pitch may have been a called strike anyways. Lawaji's going to confirm if that was a called strike or a check swing strike, but in either case, it's a strike, and it's a 3-2 count. Ulrich at second base, Lentz at first. The first baseman, Fetland, playing in front of the runner at first base. Malm kicks and delivers. Lawaji pops it foul first base side. That'll get out of play. We'll do it again at a 3-2 count, as the next offering will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat. Bulldogs have scored in every inning tonight besides the 5th inning. The 5th inning was the first inning pitched entirely by Malm, as he came in during the 4th inning to relieve the initial starter, Carson Fetland. Malm stretching the 3-2. Lawaji high, pop-up middle of the infield. Chizik, the second baseman, onto the infield grass, backs up a couple steps now back onto the dirt, and makes the grab for out number 1 of the inning as Lawaji retired on the pop-out. So the runners will stay put at their bases, and that's out number 1 of the inning as Lawaji's out. The batter now, Mason Ulrich. Ulrich a pop-out to first. Reached on an air and singled so far in his 3 plate appearances tonight. Aiden Ulrich at second, Logan Lentz at first. Mason Ulrich batting with Hoyt Crouch on deck. Mason Ulrich getting a second look at Malm, working his way for the batting order the second time as he flares one shallow left center field. The shortstop going out and making the catch. Caught off second base is Aiden Ulrich, and they double him off. The shortstop, Bay, makes the grab, and Aiden Ulrich gets caught in no man's land for a double play. Third double play of the night the Bulldogs have hit into, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 on 92.7 KLGA.
This game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kasuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Ruhnke Brothers Full Service. Experience the Ruhnke Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs, they're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
AK's Chrome Kitchen, when you come in, your family.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Bottom half of inning number 6 is to read. Lawaji goes back to work for the Algona Bulldogs. Much like Emmetsburg did earlier in the ballgame, Algona runs themselves out of an inning. Bulldogs had runners at first and second, only 1 out. Mason Ulrich had a little flare towards the shortstop, and Aiden Ulrich got caught in no man's land way off of second base, and he was doubled off by the shortstop, Bay. I think there was a play where Aiden Ulrich lost sight of where the baseball was because he broke off of second base like that was going to be a bloop into shallow left field and going to drop in for a base hit. And I don't think he ever picked up the baseball and where the shortstop was, so Ulrich got doubled off of second base, and the inning ended for the Bulldogs as Emmetsburg will go for the middle of the batting order. Bronson Dietrich, Carson Fetland, and Brennan Hosbrook, the scheduled hitters for the Ehawks this inning. Dietrich, a pop out and a walk so far tonight as Lawaji goes back to work, and he will find his zone for a called strike 1, 0-1 count. Well, Emmetsburg started off with a pitcher tonight in Carson Fetland, who was in the zone. Good command, but the Bulldogs hit him pretty hard, and some errors defensively for Emmetsburg cost him, as there's a swing and a miss. They brought in the second pitcher of Matthew Malm, who brought a little more velocity and has really settled things in for the Ehawks. Bulldogs have kind of gone the other way. Tate Garman brings some good velocity in the mound, and his control really pretty good tonight too, with only 2 walks, but kind of lost some of that control at the end of his outing as that pitch is fouled off first base side. Lawaji, meanwhile, doesn't have quite the velocity Garman does, but he's been in the zone and working ahead of hitters as he works ahead of Dietrich 0-2. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Algona continuing to lead Emmetsburg 9-2. Bulldogs scoring the first 9 runs tonight. Emmetsburg answering for 2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The wind by Lawaji ended the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Dietrich is retired, and Lawaji puts a K on the scoreboard, his second K of the outing. 1 out, nobody on base. Carson Fetland now the hitter. Fetland responsible for the only 2 runs scored tonight by Emmetsburg, but in fact, Fetland is going to be replaced here by Moen's going to be the batter. Right-handed hitting senior That pitch is inside to Moen for ball one.
Number 24, Keishan Moen.
So Moen, wearing jersey number 24, steps out of the batter's box and will take a little half practice hack before he steps back in against Lawaji. Lawaji motions in, delivers to Moen, and he pops that one foul first base side. That'll get out of play over the screen. And Lawaji now working for a 1-1 count. Moen so far this season, just 2 at-bats. 0 for 2 on the year for the E-Hawks. As there's 1 out, nobody on base here in the 4th. Make that the 6th inning. Lawaji motions and delivers. And Moen flies that one in the air, right field foul territory. Crouch is going to give it a look, but that one's out of play. Moen had just 2 at-bats last season as well, as he went 0 for 2 in those 2 at-bats. Bulldogs and the E-Hawks here in Emmetsburg, Iowa. Lawaji motions and brings it. Slow roller back to the mound. Lawaji dives and knocks it down, deflected towards third base. Barehanded grab by Ulrich, throw into first base. Oh, and they got him! What a play by Aiden Ulrich. Boy, when that ball first deflected off Lawaji, I thought no chance. But it rolled to third base. Ulrich stayed with the play. Barehand grab and throw to first base to get the out. And 2 up, 2 down to start at the bottom of the 6th for Emmetsburg. And that was a play where you thought the only chance was the pitcher fielding it cleanly. Lawaji had to dive. His momentum was carrying him away from where the ball was actually going. Couldn't make the diving play, but instead it'll be the third baseman Ulrich off the deflection. First pitch to Hosbrook, misses for ball one. I'll tell you what, we've seen some great defensive plays made here tonight. A couple web gems by MJ Bay, the shortstop for Emmetsburg. A couple of diving plays. And now the Bulldogs have a web gem of their own. Cue the Sports Center top 10 music tonight as there's a slower to Ulrich. Scoops it up, guns it to first base. It's a low throw, and Lentz able to dig it out. Great play on both ends. Ulrich charging and throwing, and Lentz getting the low throw and receiving it cleanly. That's a 1-2-3 inning by Lawaji with the help of great defense behind him. We go to the 7th and final inning. It's Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Families, businesses, and farmers. Decisions are made locally. We live and work in your neighborhood, helping to keep our local community vibrant and growing. We're involved in local community events. We believe in personalized service and advice that meets or exceeds your expectations. We're Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Bankers who believe in you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We go to the 7th here in Emmetsburg, Iowa on Hometown Radio KLGA. Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2. Not a lot of scoring the past couple of innings after a big flurry. Bulldogs scoring in each of the first 4 innings, but nothing since then as hitters number 7, 8, and 9 will bat. It's Hoyt Crouch, Daniel Kemna, and Dawson Ellsbecker scheduled this inning for the Bulldogs, and they'll go up against Matthew Malm. Malm, who has calmed things down for Emmetsburg in his relief outing. He has not allowed a run yet, as there's a swing at this by Crouch for strike 1. Crouch did see Malm in his last at-bat, striking out looking. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a double in his first plate appearance. Wind in the 0-1 by Malm. And that is in on the hands of Crouch, so the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Bulldogs getting back to action after a long layoff. 4 days without playing a game since that crosstown game on Friday night. Pitch to Crouch, got him reaching for that one. Swing and a miss as the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, though, everyone contributing tonight for the Bulldogs, 1 through 9. Everyone's been on base at least once. Wind in the 1-2 by Malm. Roller towards second base. Cheezick Fields it cleanly, tosses to first base, a little bit low, but the play is made, and that is out number 1 of the inning as Crouch is retired. 4-3 on the ground out. One out, nobody on base. Daniel Kemna, the batter. A couple of times on base tonight with a single, a walk, and then hit into a 6-4-3 double play on one of the web gems we've talked about all night by MJ Bay, the shortstop, on a diving, backhanded play at shortstop, and then turning the 6-4-3 double play, getting it started as Kemna takes a called strike. Emmetsburg will have Bach, Thayer, Opheim, and Swanson, their scheduled hitters in the bottom half of 7, as the 0-1 pitch popped high in the air, left side of the infield. Moving over the shortstop, Bay. Third baseman calls him off, though, and Swanson makes the catch for out number 2 of the inning. And a very quiet start to the 7th by Algona, as once again, Malm continues to look great on the mound. Well, we've talked all the time about Algona looking for pitching and trying to find that depth early in the season. Malm has looked fantastic tonight, and I'd say he's in line for a lot more innings for Emmetsburg if this kind of pitching continues. Dawson Elsbecker digging in. 2 outs, nobody on base for the Bulldogs. Elsbecker first pitch swinging, flares at first base side, foul territory, and that'll get out of play as the fans over there on the first base side won't make a diving attempt at it. You've seen a couple of fan opportunities to make a catch so far tonight behind home plate, but nobody stepped up and gone for it. Everyone just getting out of the way of the foul ball. Going for the safe play. 0-1 pitch, Elsbecker roller towards shortstop, charged by Bay. Cut off by the third baseman, Swanson. Has it, throws to first base, and not in time as Elsbecker beats it out. Swanson had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove that time. It stuck in the top part of that glove, so the transfer was a little bit slow, and Elsbecker safe on the infield single, his second base hit of the night, as he's now 2 for 4. So Elsbecker aboard of 2 outs for the Bulldogs, and back to the top of the order for Tate Garman. Started tonight pitching, and now is playing shortstop, as Garman popped up the second his last time up. His only plate appearance against Malm so far tonight, so second time seeing the Emmetsburg right-hander. Elsbecker with a fairly healthy lead over at first base, as Malm takes a look, holds the hands of the belt, quick pickoff at the first base, but Elsbecker dives back in quickly with that quick first step. Top half of 7 here in Emmetsburg as Algona leads the Ehawks 9-2. Quick look towards first base. Malm kicking the pitch. Wonderful little slide step that time as the pitch is up and in. 1-0 count on Tate Garman. Tate Slagle on deck for the Bulldogs. Slagle with one of Algona's 3 home runs tonight. Bulldogs playing a little long ball in tonight's game. This is a 1-0 count. Look towards first base by Malm. The right-hander brings it. Wonderful high leg kick that time. There's a swing and a miss by Garman. Count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. As Garman will take a brief walk around the batter's box. A little bit of a grimace after that swing. Thought he had a pitch he liked, but came up empty. As he's backing up the 1-1 count. Malm is ready in the 1-1 pitch. Elsbecker's running. Pitches in there for a strike. Throw to second base in on 1 hop. And sliding in safely is Elsbecker. As the shortstop Bay did a nice job to keep that ball in front of him. Elsbecker swipes the bag at second base. And the Bulldogs have a 2-out runner in scoring position. As we said earlier, that's what you can do at the bottom of this batting order. Elsbecker and Kemna, especially in that 8-9 spot. You've got a couple quick guys when they get on base. Can really try to steal and put pressure on the defense and set the tone for the top guys. As that pitch is up and in, swung on and missed for strike 3. They tied Garman up on the high inside fastball, and he is retired on the K. So Malm pitches scoreless ball in relief, and Emmetsburg has 1 more opportunity. We head to the bottom half of 7, Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 2 on KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beich, Jason Brace, Daniel Folk, and Michael Toll.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Weikert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm insurance agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Coach Chad Slagle, and you're listening to Algona Bulldog Baseball on KLGA Hometown Radio.
Reed Lawaji trying to slam the door shut for Algona as the Bulldogs lead the Ehawks at 92 heading to the bottom of the 7th. Final hacks here for Emmetsburg to try to get back into this one as Carson Bach will be the batter. Bach over 2 today, or make that over 1 today as he was hit by a pitch and struck out. And he is a left-handed hitter for Emmetsburg, getting set to go up against Lawaji. Effectively in relief. He's pitched a scoreless ball so far for Algona. The 2 relief pitchers tonight really showing out as Matthew Malm pitched 4 scoreless innings for Emmetsburg. Reed Lawaji trying to throw 3 scoreless for the Bulldogs if he can keep Emmetsburg off the board here in the 7th. First pitch drifts outside for ball 1. Tate Garman is the pitcher of record for Algona as he started tonight's game. Pitched really well in the first 3 innings, kind of ran into some issues there in the 4th, giving up 2 runs, but ultimately did enough to put the Bulldogs in position to win this game should Lawaji be able to close it out. Pitch is down and away for a ball, and the count goes to 2-0. Now, obviously, Bulldog fans will not be happy for me bringing up the game against Spencer, but you want to make sure you don't exhale here for the Bulldogs. Yes, it's a big lead going to the last inning, but that was the case against Spencer as well, and obviously things got away in that game. So Bulldogs trying to slam the door here tonight at Emmetsburg, but right now a 3-0 count on Carson Bach, the number 6 hitter in the Ehawk lineup. So Lawaji had been all in the strike zone earlier tonight, but a rare 3-0 count by Lawaji. Wind in the pitch, and that one will be ball 4, so Carson Bach will take his base, and a leadoff 4-pitch walk for the Ehawks to start off the 7th inning. Aiden Fair Opine the batter. He's 1 for 2 today. This will be his first time facing Lawaji. He was the final batter that Tate Garman faced, retired on a strikeout during the 4th inning. So this is the 9th man to face Lawaji. Lawaji holds the hands high and delivers, pitches inside. That one almost grazed him. Nearly got him, but he somehow got out of the way. Fair Opine 1 for 2 tonight. Ehawks just need base runners. Don't need anything fancy at this point. Walks, singles, hit by pitch, he'll take them all. 1-0 count. Lawaji puts that one right down the middle for a called strike, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ehawks 0-2 so far this season. Losses against ELC and Spirit Lake. Bulldogs 1-2. In position to try to get to 2-2. As pitches up and in, and it hits him on the helmet. Lawaji went breaking ball that time, and it just never broke back over the plate. So a walk and a hit by pitch to start off the inning, and an auspicious start here to the 7th for the Bulldogs. And Coach Slagle is going to make a brief mound visit out to Lawaji and talk things over. Gavin Swenson, the scheduled batter, while Coach Slagle with us all season here on the Algona Radio YouTube channel. That includes AMU, Algona Municipal Utilities, where they are community-owned for community benefit. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, where having the advantage makes all the difference. Chemda Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona Frame and Auto Body, where we meet by accident. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed, and Bauer Plumbing and Heating of Emmetsburg and Algona. The Algona Bulldogs trying to win their 8th straight against the Emmetsburg Ehawks. Bulldogs won the last 7 matches between these 2 teams dating back to 2015, which was Emmetsburg's last win. These teams play each other. Shortened 2020 season where they did not play each other. But besides that, they've had a long-running non-conference series going where they play each other once per year, alternating the home sites. Last year, Bulldogs winning 21-11 at Bulldog Park. Here tonight, Bulldogs up 9-2 in Emmetsburg as Swanson steps into the box. First pitch inside. That one almost grazed his shoulder. Didn't appear that Swanson was in too big of a hurry to get out of the way of that one as the count goes to 1-0 from Lawaji. 2 runners on, nobody out for Emmetsburg. The set by Lawaji, the look towards second, and the 1-0 pitch. That one finds the zone, and we are even at 1 apiece. 92 Bulldogs, bottom half of 7. Middle infield pinched a little bit towards the bag at second base as the second baseman Chemda holding the runner close to the bag. Pitch by Lawaji, flied in the air towards right field. Crouch starts back, now he'll come in, and he is there to make the one-handed catch. He'll return the ball quickly to the infield, and all the runners have to stay put. So out number 1 recorded by Reed Lawaji of the Bulldogs. As Cooper Chizek, the number 9 hitter, the batter now. Chizek 0 for 2 as he has struck out and fouled out to first base so far tonight. Barring a double play, though, Emmetsburg will at least be able to get back to the top of the batting order, but Chizik will try to keep things rolling here and get another runner on base ahead of that. Lawaji out of the stretch, runners at first and second. Brings the first pitch over the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Chizik thought about swinging but held back, but home plate umpire says strike one as he falls behind 0-1 in the count. Right-handed hitting second baseman Chizik in the box. Pitch by Lawaji. That one is up and in for a ball, and the count evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. I will say earlier tonight, when Tate Garwin missed, he usually missed outside. When Lawaji's missed tonight, he's been missing up and in. So the outside corner for Garmin, sometimes there, sometimes not tonight. That inside corner, though, for Lawaji's been tough to spot as that pitch goes downstairs for a ball, and the count goes 2-1. On deck, the leadoff hitter Madden, who has 2 base hits tonight for Emmetsburg. He awaits following Chizik. Bulldogs score the first 9 runs of tonight, all coming in the first 4 innings, but nothing since, as there's a hard ground ball left side of the infield, and that one creeps through into the outfield for a base hit. Everyone getting the stop sign, and the bases are loaded. Bottom of the Emmetsburg order doing their job. 3 out of the first 4 batters reach. Walk, hit by pitch, fly out to right, and then a single by Chizik, and all of a sudden back to the top of the order for Cameron Madden. Emmetsburg trying to scratch and claw their way back into this game here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded, only 1 out, and Madden, who's 2 for 3 so far tonight, digging into the plate. 1 for 1 against Lawaji as the Ehawks have gone through the order a full time, plus a couple more batters against Lawaji tonight. It's Madden, Bay, Dietrich. 1, 2, 3 in the batting order. Due up here is 1 out. Lawaji will go back to the windup with the bases loaded. The Bulldog righty winds and fires. In there for a called strike. It gets ahead 0-1. Bags are full of Ehawks. Bach the runner at third base. Fair Opheim at second base. And Chizik at first base. Wind and pitch by Lawaji. Swing and a miss. Extended that outside corner for a strike, and Madden couldn't reach it. And he is behind in the count 0-2. The left fielder for the Bulldogs, Levi Walker, is way off the line. They're taking away that left center field gap for Madden, but that left field line is fairly open. As that pitch inside on the hands, fouled off first base side. He was just able to fight that off as Lawaji tried to bring the fastball inside on the hands, and we will stay for an 0-2 count. So not much of a gap in left center field. Like we said, Walker's away off the line. Crouch towards right field, though. He is more towards the line, so pretty big gap in right center. As now Ellsbecker shifts over to the right as well. Wind in the 0-2 pitch. Flied in the air, first base side, curving out a play foul, and we'll do it again if an 0-2 count. But Ellsbecker started this at bat playing pretty straight up in center field, but he has shifted over towards the right, so you'd imagine Lawaji's going to try to live a lot on the outside corner for the next few pitches. Going to be hard for Madden to pull the ball to left field here, with Lawaji probably keeping things on the outside part of the plate, not giving Madden much he can do damage with. 0-2 count, wind down the pitch. Cold strike 3. Lawaji fastball right down the heart. A backwards K in the scorebook at Emmetsburg, down to their last hope. Bases loaded. MJ Bay, the batter. He has struck out, reached on an air, and flied out to right field. Bulldogs 1 out away from snapping a 2-game losing streak as Lawaji ready to go back to work. Wind down the pitch. Flared first base side, foul territory. Lentz can't reach it, though, as it's over his head into foul territories. The count goes 0-1. Algona 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Emmetsburg, their lone 2 runs during the 4th inning tonight. And Lawaji trying to slam the door shut. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball towards the shortstop side. Garwin has it. He bobbles. He sets himself, throws to first base, but it's not in time. Not in time, and a run comes home to score. Garwin just didn't quite have that one cleanly. A little hesitant getting the ball out of the glove, and the Ehawks push a run across on the infield single by MJ Bay. So give him an RBI as Baca comes home to score from third, and the Ehawks keep things alive for now here in the bottom of the 7th. Fair Opheim to third base, Chizik to second base, and MJ Bay on at first, and the number 3 hitter Bronson Dietrich, who struck out his last time around. 9-3 Bulldogs, bases stay loaded, and a nice breaking ball by Lawaji. Dietrich was ready to try to hit a grand slam there and took a big swing, but Lawaji picked a nice time for an off-speed pitch and gets strike 1. Huge gap in right center field. As the pitch swung on and missed again for strike 2. Ellsbecker straight up in center. Walker has left center field covered, so he's pretty far off the line, but Crouch way over to the line in right field, so big time gap in right center field if Dietrich can find it. but Louwagie has worked ahead 0-2. Ehawks down to their final strike.
Come on, dude.
Bases loaded. Louwagie motions and brings the 0-2. Ground ball up the middle, charged by Garmin. Garmin picks it up, throws on the first base, not in time, and it's thrown away. It's thrown away. 1 run scores, and a 2nd run scores, and the Ehawks continue to battle back. 2 more runs in, and Emmetsburg is rallying here in the 7th. It's 9-5 in favor of Algona. That could have been out number 3 of the ball game. But a low throw to first base. And it's 9-5. 8th batter of the inning. Cation Moe in the batter. Came on as a pinch hitter and grounded into a ground out his last time up. It was a ground out that hit the pitcher Louwagie, deflected over to the third baseman Ulrich, and Ulrich made a web jump to throw to first base and get the out last time Moe batted. This is going to be a players-only meeting at the mound right now for the Bulldogs. Full infield coming in and talking things over for Louwagie. Bulldogs very much could be out of this. And again, I hate to invoke the Spencer game, Bulldog fans, but much like the Spencer game, Bulldogs are having some defensive issues trying to close this one out. Bulldogs had a few errors in the outfield in that game against Spencer, the 12-11 loss. This time, though, it's in the infield. A few errors have been committed. Or you could say errors, could say plays that could have been made. I would say the MJ Bay ground ball, the previous at-bat, that was an infield single that the Bulldogs just couldn't get the play on because it was hit slowly enough. The last one, though, by Dietrich, I would say that's going to be scored as an E6. We'll see how the official score comes out tomorrow. But in any case, however you score it, it's 9-5. Emmetsburg scoring 3 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch by Louwagie, foul back to the screen. Moen getting right after that one with a big cut on the first pitch, and Louwagie works ahead 0-1. Outfield shading Moen slightly towards right center field as Elsbecker has moved a couple steps into the right center field gap. Infield, pretty normal depth. Lentz holding the runner on at first base. 0-1 pitch. Up and in as it bends Moen back for a ball, and the count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Algona 9, Emmetsburg 5. Runners at first and third as things have suddenly gotten interesting here in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run is on deck. If Moen reaches, the tying run will come to the plate. Set by Louwagie and the pitch. Moen ground ball left side. Ulrich stays back on it. He sets himself, guns to first base, in time for the out. Lentz holds the bag and the Bulldogs win. They hang on the bottom of the 7th as Louwagie closes the door. Emmetsburg makes it interesting. They fight all the way to the finish, but that is a win for the Bulldogs. Back to 500 at 2-2. Ehawks start off the season 0-3 with this 9-5 loss to Algona. We'll step aside for a timeout. Look at the final stats for tonight coming up next on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
This game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Kossuth Regional Health Center. Make KRHC your home for healthcare.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush always beats a full house.
Runke Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runke Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Erpelding Boyd & Company CPAs, they're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio are brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
water connection from softeners to bottled water, and service, call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty in downtown Algona, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Families, businesses, and farmers. Decisions are made locally. We live and work in your neighborhood, helping to keep our local community vibrant and growing. We're involved in local community events. We believe in personalized service and advice that meets or exceeds your expectations. We're a Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Bankers who believe in you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Countryside barbecue sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Signworks for all of your signage needs, as well as printed shirts, caps, and jackets. Stop in or call 295-9544.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Sports Club members bringing you this game on the radio.
This game in the books from Emmetsburg, Iowa. Tyler Lance view on Hometown Radio KLGA. As we look at the final numbers for tonight's game, it's a 9-5 Algona Bulldog win over the Emmetsburg Ehawks. Algona improves to 2-2 on the season, while Emmetsburg falls to 0-3. Pitching-wise tonight, the winning pitcher was Tate Garman for Algona. He went 4 innings tonight, giving up 3 hits, walked 2 batters and struck out 5, allowed 2 runs, but only one of them was earned. Reed Lawaji came in relief. Lawaji gets the save tonight, pitching the final 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, walked 1 batter and struck out 3, allowed 3 runs, but none of them were earned for the Bulldogs. On the Emmetsburg side of things, the losing pitcher tonight, Carson Fetland, pitched 3+ innings, started off the 4th inning, but did not get any outs, allowed 8 hits, walked 2 batters, struck out 2, allowed 9 runs, but only 4 of them were earned. Matthew Malm pitched great in relief tonight, 4 scoreless innings, giving up 4 hits and 1 walk while striking out 3 batters. Offensively, the Bulldogs go yard 3 times tonight. Tate Slagle, Aiden Ulrich, and Logan Lentz all hit home runs in tonight's game. Slagle finishes 2 for 4 at the plate. Aiden Ulrich 2 for 4 as well, and Logan Lentz 2 for 3. That middle of the Bulldog lineup did some serious damage in today's game, and really 1 through 9, it was a good effort as every Bulldog was on base at least 1 time in today's ball game. Final numbers for the Bulldogs: 9 runs, 12 hits. They commit 1 error and leave 6 on base. Emmetsburg, 5 runs, 6 hits. They commit 3 errors and leave 5 on base. As we said, final score for tonight's game, 9-5 in favor of Algona, as the Bulldogs now 2-2 on the season. Emmetsburg falling to 0-3. Bulldogs back in action tomorrow night with a game at Newman Catholic High School. Well, folks, we'll mention the coverage for tomorrow night's game here on Hometown Radio KLGA. Will be softball coverage as the Algona Bulldogs and Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears battle in the Crosstown Showdown from Bishop Garrigan High School. First pitch at 7 o'clock, and of course, video streaming on our Algona Radio YouTube channel as well. So tune in for that tomorrow night. We had to wait extra 24 hours, but it'll be worth it. An exciting game on tap for us tomorrow. That'll be it for tonight, though, here on Hometown Radio KLGA. I'm Tyler Lance, signing off. This has been an Algona Radio sports production. Once again, your final score, Algona 9 and Emmetsburg 5.